Jesus.
All right, so I think we're done with the. All right, so I think we're done with the account. You're sorry. You're sorry that you used the word. You're not going to use it anymore,
Absolutely
and
not.
we can
No.
move on.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I know he just came in and they didn't even say hi. I was just like, let's finish the topic. Let's just
No,
close it
you're
out.
fine. No, you're fine. uh,
And I think too, right? Like some people have, they feel like you're not taking accountability for the things that you did. I think we've all done fuck shit. I've done fuck shit. I think if we spend a lot of time just pointing out all the fucked up shit everybody does constantly, it's just never going to end. It's never going to end. Like, what's the end goal?
well, and I like the first thing Florida Man said to me when he talked to me was, "Have you, what did he say? Have you done some fucked up shit?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And he was like, "Well, do you feel justified?" And I said, "Actually, yes, I do, and a lot of stuff that I've done. I think that, I mean, I wish people would go back months and months ago before I even like was going live and any of those things, and because I never really went live, to be honest with you, until I met Stephanie, and I wish they'd go back and see all the fuck shit that has been done to me and my family this whole fucking time, and say the same thing to those people that
Oh,
they've
yeah. Oh,
done
yeah.
to
I'm
me.
sure that it's
Because
fucked up what happened
I
to you.
think
And
that
like, I remember when he put up something and it had a picture of you and your grandbaby, I think, as a profile picture. I think that's when I first started seeing all this shit go down. But look, I'll give an example. I'll use myself as an
that was this
example.
time last year, actually.
Yeah, and I'll use myself as an example. Tattoos and Cadillacs. He's done a lot of fucked up shit to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I posted his picture on TikTok and in a server, in the Lisa and Kim Reyes server of him when we found out who he was. I didn't put his name or anything, but I did put his picture on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess could someone go back and say, did you feel justified? I guess could someone go back and say, did you feel justified? Uh, I I apologize to him because no matter what, it was wrong. I shouldn't have put his picture up there. I apologize and I'm learned from it and I won't do it again. So I
And
guess
I
my
have
whole point
made
is two
private
wrongs don't make a
apologies.
right. Huh?
Right. And I have made a lot of private apologies, right? Because a lot of people have come to me and I've come to a lot of people privately. Like, I think that, like, for example, when the phone dump happened, Stephanie's text dump happened, a lot of people came at me for like having people's information that, um, people gave to me in my phone, in the phone dump, right? Like I didn't give people's information to people. Like I did Smashly's, right? I did that and I apologized to her. But like I've said people's names in lives, like going back and forth, and I've made my private apologies to them, and I felt like, I mean, after having conversations with like Nikki and Miss Enabler, for example, and even Florida Man and others, like having that dialogue with them, cry my eyeballs out. And again, somebody would have something negative to fucking say, and it wouldn't be good enough to the people that are committed to like making me an asshole. So I don't know. I have appreciated the fact that people have given me time to kind of
Yeah.
that forum and that time to like apologize to them and like them to me and have a conversation. And I
Yeah.
don't think that everything all time to like apologize to them and like them to me and have a conversation. And I
Yeah.
don't think that everything off this app, and I just don't deal well with like the gang up on one person
Yeah.
type of thing. It's not my thing. And
100%. Like the apology I did to
I
tattoos
like
was done in
fight.
private. Like
Yeah, I
it
like
doesn't need to be on. It doesn't. Everything doesn't
no.
need to be on a live on TikTok, broadcasted out. Like
And in this conflict, I like freeze. I like do the like fight or flight thing.
you turn into a fawn.
Yeah, and it's not productive. Like in my real life, I don't have this type of an issue. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think people that have come in at different times, they hear a lot, they spread a lot, they repeat a lot, they think whatever the fuck they're being told. But I mean, I'm sitting over here like Holy shit, for 6 fucking months, all my shit was all over the place for no fucking reason. I have been accused of stalking Misty Peterson. I have been, accused of being a child predator. My daughter, who's in a DV situation, was doxxed. Like, fucking photo, Facebook, full name, government name, and petty parole officer was giving people her location. Her location. And the response that people gave in that live was, well, she's an adult. But
That's not right.
you see what I'm saying? Like,
They're off limits even if they're adults. Like they shouldn't.
right.
Like people who aren't involved. Now I will say that through the recent lives, Bougie aren't making you like necessarily look good.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're not. But again, I don't fucking control what Florida Man does. I really don't. And
Oh
neither
yeah.
do you, and neither does anybody else in the boxes with him. But at the end of the day, like, I do know that, I mean, like, imagine coming on this app one day and you're literally bombarded because you're being accused of going to somebody's house and taking pictures of them and their children. And people are arguing on a say, back on my flight to go to where the fuck I was going.
47 minutes is barely enough time to get a coffee in the terminal.
Well, I didn't even get off the fucking plane, frankly.
47 minutes is barely enough time to get a coffee in the terminal.
Well, I didn't even get off the fucking plane, frankly. But I mean, and at the time that I was on this flight, I wasn't even aware that that criminal complaint had even been taken out 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So then I'm being accused of literally going real life. So imagine how that just amps up everybody else to like, oh my God, she's going like, and I didn't do any of those fucking things. But nobody would ever hear me, ever. They never, hardly anybody would even give me the time of day. And I was very grateful for those that, like, wait a minute, there's a lot of shit that's being accused that I don't think that she's done, And again, I've been quiet about a lot of the real life shit that's been done to me in Breaking Point, and I didn't care. So, and I was obviously also influenced by the people around me, and that probably didn't help. But I mean,
I just would say you have a court date coming up. I wouldn't do anything that would jeopardize your chances of getting.
I'm not worried about it. He's not going to show up in person, girl.
Chances of
I'm
getting.
not worried about it. He's not going to show up in person, girl. He's not coming here in person.
You don't think you will?
Absolutely not. He has evaded this shit for fucking 2 months. Listen,
Topic and part of it.
He's not coming to this court date. He's been knowing about it. He's knew about the last one. He knew about the one before that. He's purposely, literally, he took up my paperwork and sent it back to the fucking post office after he took up my paperwork and sent it back to the fucking post office after he opened it when Florida Man sent it to him.
It didn't matter though. You got approved for alternate service, and as soon as it hit his mailbox, it was considered served.
Nope, it wasn't actually.
Oh really?
Nope.
Because research I did online said it was.
Oh really?
Yeah, it said if you've the last known address and you send it either certified or like either certified or like as soon as it goes into the mailbox and it's confirmed delivered, it's considered served. Confirmed delivered, it's considered served.
Well, so my judge in California didn't, but what he did do is say that, however, Maryland allows proof of serve or allows service for protection orders, they would do. So we ultimately end up. I registered it in that state in the court.
Yeah,
I registered a foreign order, and I had the clerk of court serve it. So I registered a foreign order, and I had the clerk of court serve it. So once the clerk of court sends it out, I guess 10 days after that, it's considered served. But I also, spoke to the DA because they're the ones that dismissed that charge that he had filed. I didn't even know it was dismissed until me and Florida Man were looking it up because it was being shown on a green screen, and I found the paperwork and was like, "What?" Nobody had even told me yet. So, I mean, we are having it served. He told me yet. So, I mean, we are having it served. He literally told the process server that that's not him, and the process server had his picture. He really was watching him on TikTok and knew he was fucking there.
Based on how angry he got when he got the paperwork in the mail, I can believe that.
he was fucking there.
Based on how angry he got when he got the paperwork in the mail, I can believe that. Bougie, how did this all fucking start with him? Like, what was the first thing that happened? Like,
Honestly, I asked him. I've been going after her for a while for, using the guise of DV victims to get money.
yeah, I think I remember you being involved in like the investigation.
Well, I had actually contacted that very same investigator that ultimately charged her in December. I contacted him. He was actually contacted that very same investigator that ultimately charged her in December. I contacted him. He was that got back to me whenever I called her local law enforcement about it back in February of 2024. I just had never given money, so therefore they couldn't investigate shit at that point. Law enforcement about it back in February of 2024. I just had never given money, so therefore they couldn't investigate shit at that point, right? So ultimately,
It was all your word at that point.
right, right, exactly. So, but whenever it did, I ultimately, and
It was all your word at that point.
right, right, exactly. So, but whenever it did, I ultimately ended up on a phone call with her in April, and on accident. I thought the person calling me was somebody else. They had the same area code. And so we had to have the conversation, like, why don't you like me? Why, and so we had the conversation. I thought the person calling me was somebody else. They had the same area code. And so we had to have the conversation, like, why don't you like me? Why, and so we had the conversation. And
Yeah, 'cause you were like his mod at that point, right?
huh?
You weren't you his mod at that point?
Oh God, I was never a mod for him.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were one of his mods.
No, but I had been in his box the beginning of April, like a couple weeks prior, actually, as a DV victims advocate and trafficking advocate. And what's crazy is because I had thought that he was, a legit veteran, and I knew his wife was in. There's like this unspoken veteran, and I knew his wife was in. There's like this unspoken level of
Yeah, I'm a veteran.
trust
It's
that
a
you have,
community.
right? Like you just automatically feel like, okay, there's an unspoken like we feel like, okay, there's an unspoken like loyalty or whatever the word, blind trust because of the military. So, out of full transparency, I sent him everything so that because I knew that the minute I got up there, so I was going to come at him and be like, well, this, and I knew he'd probably heard things about me, right, from her. So
Yeah.
I sent him everything from court ordered background checks that we had done when we got custody of my grandbaby that we had done when we got custody of my grandbaby to the article to everything, right? My credentials, all of it. So everything he had.
Why
And
did you have court ordered background checks of her?
the court was all of it. So everything he had.
Why
And
did you have court ordered background checks of her?
the court, the guardian ad litem required everybody involved to have a
Oh,
background.
you mean you sent it of your family, not
Of my
SWAT?
family.
I was thinking
Oh God,
court
yeah,
ordered.
no,
Yeah, I
of
was like,
mine.
wait, why
No,
did you?
no,
Yeah, I
of
was like,
mine.
wait, why
No,
did you have court ordered papers of
no,
SWAT?
of
Yeah.
ours. Like the last 8 years. Because
Oh,
the one thing that was going around was that fucking Google article. Slot had been showing that shit from
yeah,
of
yeah.
ours. Like the last 8 years. Because
Oh,
the one thing that was going around was that fucking Google article. Slot had been showing that shit from
yeah, yeah.
a year and a half ago. And
Okay, so you sent him everything about
I did.
you for your DV case and your custody and all that stuff, like to
Well,
kind of prove
well,
your.
I didn't have a DV case, but I sent him my credentials of my advocacy and what I do. I sent him
Oh, advocacy.
my
Okay.
record and everything so that he would know that, like, I was never charged. I was never convicted. I never, any of those things. I'm not a criminal. Like, I don't have a
Yeah.
past. Like, that article is a fucking article that won't go away. And so then I guess when he saw me in the box with Slot, because he had been going after her at one point, uh, and so then I guess when he saw me in the box with Slot, because he had been going after her at one point, that's the thing I knew. A few days later, he had blasted a bunch of shit about me, and we politely sent him an email and asked him to please take our grandbaby off his fucking social media,
Oh,
like
yeah,
his
and YouTube
YouTube and
too.
stuff. And as soon as he got that email, he went green screened the motherfucker and
Oh,
put
I
it
remember that.
that wasn't a military email, and yes it fucking is, like, yes it was, but it had all of my, you know what I mean, like, all you
Yeah.
had to do is just take the shit off, like, that's all you fucking had to do, instead of doing that. And then when so, and so I never went live, I never did anything like that about him. But then about the time Slot was getting arrested, or we were coming out with the money and stuff, that people were coming out with the money that they had given her, um and totaling it up and stuff, um he fucking again started it on me again. And I'm saying, like, not just talking about me, but like, oh my god, she's hacked into her husband's, well, it's not even her husband's military email address, and I mean, all these wild ass things. Whoops.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
sorry to interrupt. I was gonna.
it sounded like she's taking a bath. So it was a lot. It was a lot of that kind of shit. It was a lot of like accusing me of shit that didn't make any fucking sense. Like,
Yeah.
wild.
I mean, I saw it happen to Sam too, right? Like something small blew up.
Yes. So then she got a hold of me, and I helped her and Virgo. I helped her and Virgo. I gotten them in contact with somebody from like CID, and they sent all their stuff in, and CID did whatever they did. And yeah, I mean, at that point, it was like, it wasn't just like your normal, like, just talking shit, right? It was legit making up bullshit, and then, oh my god, showing my husband's base and telling everybody how the fuck to get there. And I mean, it was wild as fuck. Wild. And I'd even sent him an email out of like full, we had a mutual friend, and he's like, just send him an email. So I sent a long ass email about why the fuck I was in the box with Slot. Like, I think you had it misinterpreted that like I just flip flopped and became friends with her. Um, and his response back to me was, "Fuck you. The only thing you're going to be doing is talk," or flopped and became friends with her. Um, and his response back to me was, "Fuck you. The only thing you're going to be doing is talk, or you kidnap kids. You fucking impersonated cops. Fuck you." And I was like, "What? Dude, you're the one that has a court date coming up for your
Yeah.
fucking felony child abuse. Like, what the fuck are you doing?" And
And
he's
then
like,
Hey,
Petty,
Bougie.
Petty House
yeah,
of Lies comment where she talked about, or he or she, I don't know, where they said that he weaponized his platform. He did the same thing to Sam when he had like 560 people in his live, and he said, "Wouldn't it be funny if
ugh,
somebody contacted her daughter?"
disgusting. I was there. I heard that shit.
Yeah, and then they did.
He did.
So he constantly weaponizes his platform, and
100%.
and
And
Queen of
he did.
so he constantly weaponizes his platform, and
100%.
and
And
Queen of
and
Trades for some reason blocked me, but that's
he even sent, like, when he got that peace order and stuff against me, and he filed that lawsuit against me and Mallory, he sent that paperwork unredacted to fucking Nikki and told her to go blast it, knowing that it wasn't even supposed to be blasted because my protection order was active, right? He had already gotten it, my original one, and it specifically stated on there by the judge that he was to remove any and all of our information, pictures, whatever, and he was not to lead people to it, fucking send our information out or anything. And he just didn't give a fuck.
all right.
And
Well,
Hey,
Mama,
Team Wolfie.
Mama of
Real,
Four Queens had a good point. I did say you shouldn't talk about him, and then I asked you questions about him. Yeah, she made a good point.
not to interrupt, and I'm so
I'm
sorry,
sorry, I wasn't reading the
but
comments either.
Petty's Pringles has a lot to say about every one of us.
Oh,
Why don't you come off of mute, speak up?
They probably won't because they don't want us to know who they are. It's a burner.
It is
you know
100%.
who it is? It's Mikey.
No, it's not.
Well, that account was in Florida Man's Live just the other day. Remember, under that account, whenever we had Marty in the box.
Yeah, but there's a lot
But
of people who come in on their burners because they won't say it on their main.
Well, it was
Uh,
on that account, if I remember correctly.
oh, he got in a box on that account?
No, he didn't get in a box.
Petty's Pringles, say something.
They won't.
Indulge in this conversation.
It's
Are you
cowardice.
educated enough to have a civil conversation?
Right?
We are
Like
waiting.
some Petty's Pringles,
Well, he wasn't in a
they
gotta go
box
ask
when
do
he
him
was
some
have
on
more.
that
more on
account.
Sundays.
Hey, Petty's Pringles.
What's the rotten tomatoes for? Yeah,
You
it was
come
nice
up
to
here.
have unmuted, and he would have said
Hello.
something.
It sounds cliche, but tell me what you waiting for me. Baby,
Oh,
I'm a
Skittles. Oh, we know who this
Yeah,
is.
that's Skittles.
What a
Drop her.
yeah, what a turd.
Are you
You are
crazy?
obsessed, girl.
Seek help, girl.
Oh my god.
She's the only one that
Golly.
gets in boxes with weird
Bye.
music.
Why does she do
Weird
Yeah.
that?
as fuck.
She's weird. So she's obsessed.
Get some fucking
If it
help
has
for
to do
real.
with Florida Man or myself, she is right there. Like she's
I mean, it is like
right there.
Well,
stage
even if it
5
doesn't have
clinger
Fucking
anything to
creep.
do
status.
with you, she's in the
It's creepy
comments
and
trying to
fucking
make it
weird.
about
It's
It
you.
is
concerning.
creepy at this point. Like, it's stage 5 clinger weird. Like, it's very crazy to me.
She's so
Everything.
obsessed with them, she's looking up shit about me because she's fucking obsessed with them.
Yeah, what she did last
Fucking weird.
night with the pictures and showing people's pictures and stuff is fucked up. She tries to say she didn't do anything wrong, yet she has whole lives where she puts people's pictures up and makes fun of
People
them.
that aren't even fucking on TikTok.
Skittles, you either need to go get a PO if you're actually scared of him, or just move on.
Get a therapist. Because there's coping skills and ways to move forward. You could have a much better life, girl. I promise you. This has got to be stressful for you.
It is so much
Go do your
deeper
Can you
than
imagine?
that.
Can you imagine this being your whole fucking life?
Jesus Christ. You need to go do your community service. It's like you don't get extended again, girl.
Yeah, so you don't
That
fucking go to
part.
jail.
That part. That part.
You're gonna go to fucking
I
jail.
mean, you literally had 18 months to do your community, 72 hours, and you couldn't even do that?
You got one continuance. You're lucky you got that one.
I mean, no, we're talking about probation for something in 2022. Come on now. Why the fuck are we still doing probation in 2025? Because we can't do 72 hours. You do 72 hours on TikTok
I
in
mean, that's
3
she
days.
did an hour a week at this point. The fuck?
No, they didn't. Well, they
Spoiled
revoked.
little fucking bitch.
They didn't. Well, they revoked it, but they didn't really revoke it. No, they just modified it and
No,
gave her
they
6 more
continued it.
months. They gave her 6 more months, and she got a
Yeah.
violation of probation misdemeanor charge. And it's crazy because, bitch, you were a fucking probation officer there. What the fuck are you doing?
And I wish I
It's
hadn't
wild because
gotten
probation violations are no
go
bail,
back
Jenna. You
home.
know that.
I wish
You're gonna go sit.
I wish I hadn't got extended so she could go back home and start living her life.
That's
Yeah.
why she did it,
For
though. Like,
real.
that's the only reason why she got a fucking get out of jail free card, because she knows those motherfuckers. That's it. God, 18 months to
I
do
do
72
not.
hours is wild.
I would have been
I do
stuck
not
crash on the side of the
condone her.
highway in order to get it done. Like I would have knocked that shit out straight away just to get it done and over with.
It's they're fairly easy to get over with.
In 18 months, 72 hours is nothing.
I've done 72 hours of community service in the past like 5 months.
Well, look at how much time she spends on TikTok.
Not court ordered, like volunteers, to make sure that that's clear. Like
Wait,
volunteer.
you got court order? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I don't have. I've got a camera ticket. That's all I've ever really gotten on my record.
A camera ticket. Ugh.
I know.
No
I'm
matter
horrible.
what you do
You
with
paid it. You can beat those.
Oh,
Nothing.
yeah.
I just paid it. I just got it. It was
Here,
like,
here you can do like an online driving class, and it like gets rid of your tickets. It's weird as fuck. I've never seen it.
yeah. Some
On
states,
camera like
other
that.
states have that too, where it like, depends on what it is, like to get points off. But
Yeah.
it was like 15 years ago, and should I probably have gotten other tickets? Yeah, I mean points off, but
Yeah.
it was like 15 years ago, and should I probably have gotten other tickets? Yeah, I mean, like, I think most people with clean records are just didn't get caught doing some of the shit they did. Like when I was in my early 20s, I definitely did not make all the wisest decisions.
That is true. I do. Yeah, I think that's true. But I also just listen here. They like, if I show my driver's license, they're like, you are supposed to have a California one. I'm like, no, the fuck, I don't.
Oh, because you've been there for more than 30 days.
Yeah, I'm like, no, the fuck, I don't. And they're like,
You're military. You're not required to.
like, no, man, you're wrong.
There's only 2 states that require you to do it, even if you're military, and California is not one.
No, but I'll tell you how many cops don't know about it. Almost all of them.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
like it's unreal. It's just like, dude, no.
Well, they don't all get educated on the exceptions for military, but you think that if they're near a base, they would
Right.
be given more
I mean,
information.
I'm right in between March Air Force Base and then 9,700 fucking Navy and Marine Corps bases in San Diego. Like, y'all should know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Speaking of, I don't know if you saw this, but there was a plane that went down in our military housing off base in San
Mm.
Diego. Oh my God.
Did did oh my God, was it like doing training in
It
one?
wasn't a military.
Oh my God, was it like doing training in
It
one?
wasn't a military jet. It was a private jet that was carrying like six people that were from like a one was from a major Christian band or something like that, and like I don't know. It
There was
went
another
down.
one recently over on the East Coast where it went down and it had like a doctor and stuff like that going back to Mayo Clinic, I think. It's been a
The
lot.
one that had it had a patient on it, didn't it?
I think he just yeah, I did have a patient who had just gotten I think finished a treatment.
Yeah, and I think that was right around the time that that helicopter and the plane went
Yes.
down. And God, yeah, and I went to DC right after that, and I was like, oh God, I was so nervous. That's why I
Yeah.
stayed on the plane.
Yeah.
It's wild. God, yeah, and I went to DC right after that, and I was like, oh God, I was so nervous. That's why I
Yeah.
stayed on the plane.
Yeah.
It's wild. There was one in Charleston a couple years ago that like the pilot ejected, showed up in like some residential area in his parachute, and they couldn't even find the fucking jet. It was a stealth fighter.
Yeah.
I
I
was like, what
There was one time I was flying back home and our flight.
the fucking jet? It was a stealth fighter.
Yeah.
I
I
was like, what
There was one time I was flying back home and our flight we ended up delayed. Well, no, we ended up circling for like 2 hours because they closed down the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because somebody in a private plane had gone up with like their instructor airport.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because somebody in a private plane had gone up with like their instructor and then um, opened the hatch and jumped.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. And so he was found in somebody's yard.
My ex-husband, when he went to flight training in Pensacola, he was in the Air Force. They started with these little like I guess they're prop
Yeah.
planes, right? And the T-34s, and oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many of those motherfuckers went down during training, and that shit was wild.
So sad. It's
It
so
it
sad.
is so sad and it's so scary. Like,
And then I probably should have done trigger warning before I said what I said about that one plane and the delay. If anybody is struggling with like their mental health, please reach out to somebody or call 988. There are resources available for you, and you aren't alone. All right, it went really dark. Let's go
yeah,
to.
where did Florida
Are
man go? Did he
either
go to Flash Lease?
are either of your bases near you? Like the
Oh, not for just the military, but I mean, all of our bases in San Diego and Oceanside are all oceanside ish. I mean,
do they have hotels like?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, even Camp Pendleton, it part of its property is the beach, and that's where they do a lot of their training and stuff like that too. So yeah, I guess that would be a private military beach right over there.
Yeah,
The
those are
cabins.
those are nice to go to because they're usually not as crowded, and they usually don't have they have less rules. Like I remember when um, we were able to put more stuff up on the beach, have
Yeah,
more adult beverage up on the beach, have
yeah.
more adult beverages on the beach. Like it was just I don't know. It was much nicer to just hang out with all the military crowd.
Mm-hmm. When I
I've been
first,
out for 20 years. Sometimes I miss it.
girl,
I did 6. My husband did 10, and I'm glad we got out when we did.
it's
Because
it's hard.
our careers, and I was tired of deploying, to be honest. And we just had a baby when I got out, so
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to. I was out, so
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to. I was on a ship, so I was TPU while I gave birth and did my convalescent leave. And I knew the ship I was attached to was going to deploy again. So I was like, I had 4 months left. And so I'd only had a month on the ship. And so I applied for an exception and just stayed at Oceana. So that way.
Oh God, I love it there. My girlfriend's at Virginia Beach. Did you know that now for when you have a baby or you adopt a child, you get 4 months of leave?
Oh my God, that's freaking amazing. Because when I had her,
Wait, not 4,
42
you get
days.
12 weeks. You get 12 weeks now.
Good. So they're complying with FMLA standards where you get
Yep.
12 weeks.
My husband didn't tell me that, and then when we got custody of Briella, he was like home for a couple weeks. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't tell you. I get 12 weeks of leave." I was like, "Fuck, 12 weeks."
Do you still have custody of the baby?
Oh yeah, I sure do. We've had her for 3.5 years.
Oh,
She graduates from TK on next week, and her dad comes out this week, and
well, I hope whatever reason you end up getting custody for resolves and that eventually her parents can be,
probably won't be happening that way actually, but
yeah, I don't know the story. Yeah, I don't know the story. I don't need to know
yeah,
it.
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
it's bad, and I
It says a lot about you that you took that action to protect the baby and are raising her.
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know that I could do the other two. To be honest with you, I realized
Neighbor, go ahead.
old I
Sorry,
am.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Bougie, but neighbor made a comment about them being third or fourth wheels, and to be
Oh,
fair, they haven't been able to say anything.
He was on mute. You were on fucking mute, girl.
Go
I
ahead,
didn't
girl.
want to interrupt, but I had so much to say. I'm like, nope, can't interrupt because I'm really bad at that.
We
I
we
can
also give
say
a chance. Yeah.
we, Bougie and I did have an off TikTok conversation, and I had the pleasure of meeting her G baby, and
Because she made you meet her.
Oh, you met in person?
that's no,
Oh,
on video,
okay.
and beautiful, beautiful.
She just thinks everybody's her
G
friend.
baby.
I want to talk to your friend. She says, "I want to talk to your friends."
That's sweet.
We were only on the call for like minutes, and she, hello.
And she spells her name, and then she's like, "Hi." Yeah. Today she went out on a boat with my husband and some friends, and they saw the seals and they caught sharks, and she was just terrified that you could catch a shark. She's like, I mean, man, the thing was only like, I don't know, 2.5 feet long, but she was like, Mimi, we caught a shark, and I was afraid of his teeth. Funny. It's interesting to be this old and raise kids, but it's different when I think they're your grandbabies. I have a lot more patience with her than I probably did my own children, but
Well, I think, I've got 3, and with age comes experience and wisdom. Not saying that, you're not experiencing wisdom when you're young, but like I was very, 6-year difference between my oldest and my youngest. And then, financially we were in better position. It was just, we were different people 6 years later. And so our parenting style changed. I mean, where my oldest about to turn 21, I'm not going to say anything else about my other kids' ages because, people are crazy and write down information about you. But yeah, like,
Bring it up like 6 months later. It's wild.
yeah.
It's fucking weird.
So I'm just not going to give out much more information. But anyway, she lives on her own, and that was really tough for me when I didn't think it was going to be tough. When she left,
it's awful.
Yeah. And I'm so proud of her, and she's kicking ass at this adulting thing. But I struggle. Yeah. And I'm so proud of her, and she's kicking ass at this adulting thing. But I struggle.
I did that when mine moved out, and now she's moving to New Hampshire. I did that when mine moved out, and now she's moving to New Hampshire.
Oh no.
And yeah, her boyfriend's going to med school. When mine moved out, and now she's moving to New Hampshire.
Oh no.
And yeah, her boyfriend's going to med school. When mine moved out, and now she's moving to New Hampshire.
Oh no.
And yeah, her boyfriend's going to med school. And no, and she leaves in July, but we just found out.
Oh, that's gonna be so tough.
And I said, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do?" And then my youngest graduates high school in a couple weeks, and I'm just like, this is gonna be
Oh,
so emotional, and going all the way across the country away from me. But I have to say, because she just graduated college a couple weeks ago, thankfully, but I'm moving her out there. It's gonna be so. I'm moving her out there. It's gonna be so.
it's gonna be tough that you're not
I
going. Like,
hate when my kids are not with me. Yes, it's awful. Like,
here's when it's gonna be toughest is when something happens and like if she's upset, like whether it's because her
yeah,
nails were done wrong or her hair was cut wrong or and you can't just go and take
God.
her out like for lunch or something.
but I do.
So,
Let me tell you. Why is this
Not
not? What are we
What
doing?
hold
do you
on, not
want?
not not to interrupt again, but
keep
Somebody's
interrupting
here.
that.
Go ahead. Play your
Petty's
music.
Pringles. Hold on, I got to tell you guys like a little story here.
Oh,
So last night in a live, did you guys realize that Skittles has tasted my urine allegedly?
what?
And
What are you talking about?
yeah, and it tastes like lemon and whipped it up
What?
with some Cool Whip. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
What are you? What? Please break that
I
down.
swear
What
to
are you?
Christ. Swear to
What are you
Christ.
talking
That's
about?
what she was saying.
Swear to Christ.
Can you just block that account?
Are you so glad that you get this attention, Jenna? You're so cool. It must be so cool to be so cool.
So
I
cool.
don't know if like people think that it makes them look good to do this kind of stuff, but
She's obsessed.
so what?
It's
Explain the
fucking
pee.
weird.
Explain the pee thing,
Yeah,
Enabler.
please.
What?
So
Okay.
confused.
So this past winter, I mean, I live,
Oh, you
so
paused.
it gets fucking extremely, extremely cold. My pipes froze. And in order to flush the potty, um, hello, went out, grabbed some snow, melted that fucking snow, and dropped it down the potty. So she took that as um, going outside, urinating in snow,
What?
and then bringing it in, whipping it up with Cool Whip like they do at Disneyland or Disney World.
They whip up pee with Cool Whip at Disney World?
That was she said it's lemon flavored and it's
I missed that stand.
I'm
That's
so
like
fucking
confused.
weird.
So she
I
went
swear to
from
God,
creating
she
making
just said
pee.
this in the live last night.
What the hell?
I swear to God.
Is it
Like
time for you a fucking 5150 or what? Like the
like
fuck?
it's fucking weird. The bitch wants to wear my fucking skin.
She said what it would taste like, didn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
what
Well,
her
is her
friend in the
obsession with
fucking
you?
box.
What is the
well,
Yeah,
obsession
see,
with you?
Chaos even said she said it tasted like lemon.
well,
What is her
lemon's good.
obsession with
So
you? Where
I
does
guess
this
she
stem from?
I guess she was giving
I
you a compliment because lemon's good.
Ugh.
But who thinks of that?
Well, why
Going to
is
pee
she
in
so pressed
snow.
about you? What is the issue? Why is she so obsessed with you?
I
She said in a box like a
She's
month or two
jealous.
ago that it was because an April got answers and she didn't. But then when she was asked what she didn't get answers to, she's not provided those questions. And I'd like if she feels like there's something that she needs closure on. I do think it would be good for her to get that. I just don't know what questions.
I just don't think the way she's
Yeah.
going about it is going to be very productive, though, at this point. Because I
Oh
think
no, it's
The
not.
thing is,
I
she's
wouldn't
but
give
mad
her
at
also
fucking
Casey.
answers either
She's
because
mad
it
at
doesn't
Casey
seem
for
like.
something that she didn't do.
Right.
That's what she's mad at. She's mad at Casey for something she didn't do in a server that wasn't hers before she was a fucking mod.
Doesn't this all stem down to Florida Man, though? At the end of the day, I think
yes.
that she
She's
is.
jealous, yes.
That's exactly it. Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the thing is like, I don't think that if he gave her fucking direct answers, which I've heard him give her answers, like over the last few
But
months, that they would even be good enough. She would continue this. It's very
but it's,
weird.
the questions aren't for him. Like some of it stemmed from a call with a girl named Phoenix
Oh
who
yeah.
who said she was a mole or had a mole, and she tried to pin it on Enabler. And then she said she had the personal information of some people like that were in Florida Man's circle. And she said clearly, if Skills was acting to listen to the call, she clearly says it's the old address, not her new address. Now, since then, obviously, Skills has been doxed to her new address. It's out there, which was, not. I don't agree with that at all. But that things that she's saying,
And I was the one that deleted it.
Yeah,
I deleted that info of her being doxxed. And at that point, I could not stand the cunt. Excuse my language. But you know what? What is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. And I put myself in the other person's shoes. Would I want it done to me? No. So I went ahead against certain individuals' requests and I fucking deleted it because I didn't think it was acceptable.
Can I ask you guys all a question though? Because from an outsider that wasn't involved in this mess and just seeing it kind of unfold, I'm curious. Do you think a lot of the reason why she has become unhinged on this and obsessed is because the response that I was even shocked at the time, like it seemed like everybody was taking up a response that I was even shocked at the time. Like it seemed like everybody was taking up for Florida Man, right, and not her. And I didn't know shit at the time, so it was very weird to me. But do you think it's because people ultimately not chose Florida Man, but ultimately have
We witnessed
stayed
it.
friends with him and not with her? Do you think that she expected a different response, and that's why she's so pressed because all her friends are now Florida Man's friends?
Here's the thing. I'm gonna try to make this as brief as possible. The fuck shit that went on. So I got doxxed, and I don't even feel like going through all the names. I got doxxed. My abuser got doxxed. My abuser got doxxed, and then like cops were called. Welfare checks, all this shit, tracking everything. She sat in a box and accused other individuals, including one close person that sits with her to this day, okay, accused other people of being involved when herself, she could have gave every fucking answer possible. She could have gave every fucking answer
He
possible.
was involved in
not
a lot
every
of fuck
answer,
shit
'cause
too.
I just want to be clear, Enabler. Like at first, we didn't know where Nikki got the information from. So, but she did know, when she had the initial conversation. I don't think we knew where Nikki got that information from.
Right, but I'm talking about like the phone call
Oh
and
yeah. She could have told you, but there was more than one phone call, right?
yes,
I don't mean
yes.
like more than. I mean outside of that night, you had wellness checks, and then I believe there was said something like
There were
other calls like
multiple.
harassing you, right?
Oh yeah.
So
So Florida Man basically came honest with you. Is that how it went? Like he was honest about everything he was involved with, and so ultimately, it seemed like from an outsider again that he was very honest about what the fuck he was involved with. He came out with it. She was still kind of like
He
blaming
was
him, but
once he realized the situation and he was able to see it for himself, he definitely apologized and immediately took down shit. She doubled down on it and made her own video and then shared it out.
But I remember seeing a live where like everybody, you were in the box, I believe. Nikki was, and Jenna was, and Florida Man was. Other people were, and it was basically like Florida Man was telling you everything that happened or whatever he knew about whatever he was involved with, what he did, what she did. I remember there being texts that were being shown, and she was like, essentially, basically, he was quote coming clean. Maybe that's not the word, but maybe.
He had already came clean to me behind the scenes, and that was another thing that pissed her off. That
it didn't happen on live, and that he went.
yes,
Yeah.
and then whenever it happened on a live, because shit was still being spread, and so many people were involved that never had to be involved.
Yeah, it was insane.
And I think her feelings got hurt because that's when, all around that time, he did not want to return back. It
Or
was fucking wild.
her feelings
I'll let Turtles tell you.
were,
This shit was wild. What we witnessed, like, it was fucking nuts.
but I do
Remember, like, how
Listen,
to add to your
we
feelings.
lived through that shit. Like these people hear you hear about it, how crazy she was. Like she was involving us in her crazy fucking shit,
Yeah, I mean that
her
night that she
personal shit.
did the dump to you guys, she told you stuff that weren't even related to you, but her feelings were hurt, Bougie.
Oh, I can definitely agree with that. I can see that her feelings were hurt. I just think the way she's going about it is not probably the best because I don't see how it's going to come out with the result that she. I mean, I think that she had gone about a different way. She may or may not have probably been able to keep a friendship with him. But at this point, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? It's crazy that she just goes everywhere that he is and then she's in boxes and it's always Florida man, Florida man. And it's always his enabler. Like, I've even gotten the messages and texts and things like that. Like,
it's wild. Like, Florida Man had his live, and it was the one which I did not agree, and I made it clear. And I was actually even told not to come into Florida Man's live. The one
And you didn't tell us what the live was going to be about.
I was not in that one if you're talking about, like, the brother and the caller.
Your brother, yes.
Yeah, no, I wasn't in that.
And I want to have a limit conversation about that, but and
We didn't know what the live was going to be about. Just to clear
He
you.
told Casey just not to go. He told you like right before he went live. He
That's
said what it's
cool.
going to be.
now here's the thing, though. She punished me and put my unalived brother in her live.
Yeah,
And
for
on
what, though?
Picture up.
to punish because I was sitting with Florida Man and her former friends, that it was her way to get Florida Man to talk on her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's really not about me. It's a reaction that she wants from Florida Man
Mm-hmm.
to try to get
Well,
him
like,
to
if she comes at
defend.
you or she comes and comes at you, then maybe he'll stop because you're the one being affected, not him.
No.
No,
No.
to get a response
It-
from him. She used me to get, like, she went up. She was told to stop tagging me,
Just
stop
a
talking
response.
about me, and she kept doing it until she got a response from him. So her feelings were hurt. Like, she even said directly, like, when Turtles and Neighbors first started talking, like, she was a mod for Stan Slam. We didn't like her. We were just like, what the fuck, Turtle? And it was, we didn't, and then when Skittles went and talked to Enabler, we were like, what are you doing? You're going to the other side, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so we did give her a hard time for going to talk to Enabler. And then, like maybe 2 weeks later, we had a conversation with Enabler, got more details. I apologized for anything that I had taken part in, and no excuses, right? Like, I was wrong, no excuses. Like, she shouldn't have been treated that way. And I think, well, I don't think she said it, that we gave her a hard time, but then we went and got in boxes with Enabler, right? And so I can see how that would have hurt her feelings back then. But then it just spirals. Like, I don't know. I was her friend up until January. There was a game night live that Nikki had where um, it was right after like a crash out in a Discord where a lot of information and text was shared. And so I guess it was a would you or have you ever was the game night. And so
Yeah.
people kept using situations about Skittles in there. But I wasn't in that live. Like, I went in for like 1 or 2 minutes and then I fell asleep. I left the live and went to sleep. I think I was there for the first 2 questions and then left. But she got really upset with me and blocked me on everything. And then the next morning tried to come back, but we've not really, and even then for a few weeks after that, I was still in boxes. Like, I boxed up with her mom. I tried to be kind to her, and I still don't talk poorly on her. I just wish she'd move on. Like, it's not
Yeah.
play Skittles to be the accountability police and chase him around TikTok trying to get him taken down. Like, choose peace, choose your life, choose happiness. This is not going to get. You're not getting
Well,
the
she's
results.
clearly self-destructing, and I
Choose peace, choose your life, choose happiness. This is not going to get. You're not getting
well,
the
she's
results.
clearly self-destructing, and I think that's, you know, part of it. I think a lot. I think it's, yeah, she's self-destructing, and she needs to probably take a break and just really take a break. Not just, yeah, she's self-destructing, and she needs to probably take a break and just really take a break. Not just with herself, because I can only imagine, and I empathize with her in the sense that, like,
Private
We've all,
Florida woman.
and like, as human to human,
Florida woman. That one's misspelled. Like, that's the one that we thought was, yeah. I think that maybe,
Sorry.
given the fact that she had, what she was going through legally, which affected her career, and I'm sure that was somewhat embarrassing in her real life, right?
but
And
that was years.
which affected her career, and I'm sure that was somewhat embarrassing in her real life, right?
But
And
that was years ago. That was
I get
before.
it, but like she's now like, but I mean, she clearly didn't deal with it then, right? Like she was not dealing with
Obviously,
things in the right way then, and I think it's just kind of domino effect, right? And self-destruction mode. Like it took me several, I mean, when I was 40, I finally buckled down and was like, I need to really deal with some of my shit in life that I have just either compartmentalized, put away because I needed to focus on raising my kids and being a wife and all that, right? Because it was slowly creeping up on me mentally, emotionally, and then like in my parenting and in my relationships. And it's a hard thing to do because it's a lot to face sometimes. And I think maybe she just is self-destructing because it's easier, right, to self-destruct. Maybe she just is self-destructing because it's easier, right, to self-destruct than it is to really deal with your shit
right.
sometimes.
And
Yeah, I
I
mean,
definitely understand and sympathize with that. But at some
She's not doing
point
it in the
in
right
your
way.
life, you have to stop self
Mm-hmm.
destructing. You have to stop. That she had a very, very solid support group, and
That's
I'm
what I was
not
going
even
to say.
talking
What
about like
happened
me.
to that support group? Like, it seems like on the outside, again, I wasn't on the inside, right? So I can just see it from the outside. It just seems like she started to really fucking become unhinged when right? So I can just see it from the outside. It just seems like she started to really fucking become unhinged when
She
most of
intentionally
TikTok was like
sabotaged.
taking up for fucking Florida man, but obviously it was not because of it wasn't like it didn't seem like they were choosing sides, but how she was going about it and what she wasn't. I saw her in these lives, and they're like she was crazy. Like it was like 100 miles a minute, and all this. It wasn't productive, and I think people just saw that he was being honest. He was being very adamant about what he was involved with, what she was involved with, and she just was spiraling. And
it
people
shouldn't have ever come to TikTok. Like it was in Discord, and it shouldn't even happen in
God, it was
Discord.
everywhere. It seemed like for a while, it was all people were always want. Oh, the Jenna Florida man.
Yeah,
I
it
could
was
have
like,
been. I'm sorry, Woofy. I'm
yeah,
just going to make one last statement.
you're fine.
I even told her, I mean, and I tell everyone, even after all of the bullshit, okay, she was in a situation and I got her out of it. Okay, I could have been a great friend to her. I could have put shit or swept it under the rug, never bring it up again. I could have been a great friend to her.
Yeah,
Were you
And
friends with her when they broke up? Were you guys, were the,
we were
like,
all friends with her. Like we were all. Oh no, not Enabler wasn't, but like myself and Turtles were.
That's it.
You were too, yeah. You, me, Nikki, Chaos, Ange. Like there was a solid group around her. When they
solid
broke up.
group.
so it wasn't like when they
Yeah.
broke up, you guys just all chose Florida man, is what I'm saying.
No, they broke up in like October, and I didn't stop talking to her until almost the beginning of February.
Wow.
But it was such an obsessive like she has like a whole fucking notebook.
Yeah.
And the stories that were created in her mind, whether it was a substance
Induced.
influencing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to, although it's been admitted by this individual, I don't want to, I wasn't
Go
there.
down
So
that
I'm going to
road.
say allegedly.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Now I forget where I was going with that. It was a hot fucking mess.
It was a hot mess to watch, so I can imagine how it was to be in
And
it.
it's still going
She
on.
made up situations in her head. She made up timelines. She made up how things went. She made up just made up whole stories.
And I
Made
will
up
say that
Ricky
some of
Lynn.
it was caused by Tattoos and Polly because they made a lot
And
of
the
fake
Rat
accounts.
Fucks.
Yeah, they made a lot of fake. I don't know about the Rafucks with the fake accounts. I'm just Tattoos and Polly made a lot of fake accounts that made it appear as if Mike was stalking her. Like, and so
Oh.
so that really contributed to it. Like those fake accounts were
So she
like,
thought those accounts were actually him?
yeah,
Oh my god, that's fucked up to do though.
yeah, it's really fucked up that they did that. And when it
They're
came
weird as
out in
fuck.
January that they had done that, we were hoping that now that she had answers, we could all move on. Like, hey, he wasn't those accounts. He didn't make the fake brother account. He paid money to get it down.
But I think it's not even that. I think it's that she ultimately really, I mean, I don't like to use the word codependent, but for a period of time, she was very dependent on him for whatever void she was, not getting filled in her life. And I think, I mean, they were partners in crime doing a lot of fuck shit. I know that.
Great. She definitely confided in FM. Um, and then I think it got to be a little more than just,
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
feelings got involved and then fuck shit
It just
a
wasn't a
bunch.
healthy relationship to begin with, though. You know what I
Correct.
mean? And I mean, I can see why I don't agree with the things that he does. Don't get me wrong. Not with everything he does. But, I mean, she seems to fucking push him to that point where he's just like, fuck it. You
Yeah,
know?
he just wants to be left alone. And then
Mm-hmm.
when
He asked her.
we all asked her to leave us alone. And when she has lives like what she did last night, where she put up Turtle's picture, she made fun of Casey, she put up two people, Ames and Eminem's pictures, who like don't do shit to her. Like,
Ames hasn't even been on TikTok.
right.
I
Like,
think
But
also
she
she lost
knows
her
that
group.
we would be affected by
Mm-hmm.
it. And that's what she wants. She
Ultimately, I think
wants
she wants all you guys back in a group. Like, she wants to be part of the group, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
what
that's definitely
she
what she
ruined that.
wants.
But she's doing
It
it the
was
wrong
offered
way.
to her though. She could have had that a number of times.
Yeah. Well, I think
look,
we can all agree, though, like when you are influenced by substances or
or people around you, the
people
people
around you,
yeah,
Yeah,
or you're not in a
yeah.
good
There was a number of factors.
I think that
But
you
she dogs Turtles.
yeah,
And Turtles
last night.
has a little turtle.
oh, I love turtles.
Okay, and you
Not
don't
yours,
fuck
but
with that.
I think they're cute though, I do.
Skittles
And
was like for a few months that we initially started. Like I really like. I'm just to say, like, I really like Skittles when she's
I met
not
her a
on
year and a
Crash
half.
Out Lives. Like we were friends. I live a couple hours away
Everyone
from her.
liked
I
her.
was planning on like we started talking about maybe meeting up, right? Like I really enjoy her when she's not having all of these issues.
I don't
And
know because I knew her a year and a half ago when she was brown Skittles, and I remember her being under the influence of something in a live saying she was going to law school, and it was just like box hopping, and it was in everybody's business, and it was wild. Like
I didn't see any of that.
that was long. That was like
Yeah.
January, February, March of last year.
I'm just saying our interactions with her from like June through October were generally positive, and she was a good friend. Like
Mm-hmm.
she, I mean, I didn't realize at the time that like calls were being recorded and things were being screenshot. So like, and she dropped some of my DMs, in lives are that was off-putting to find out later. But in
Mm-hmm.
general, I enjoyed her company. We laughed a lot. Turtles, you did too, right?
Yeah, everyone. That's the thing. Everyone liked her.
She is funny. I have to give you that. She is funny. I mean,
Yeah.
she's like Shannon in a way. Like, she's funny when she's not fucking unhinged or crashing out. But it's just getting old. Like every
But
fucking
it's just
time.
all.
Like every
But
fucking
it's just
time.
all crash out
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
but it's like
months on end now.
she just goes in people's lives and it's always Florida man this, Florida man that. I'm like, God, this is
Even when the
embarrassing. I'm
topic isn't him.
embarrassed. Yes, I am embarrassed for her. Really, I am. It's fucking wild. I do hope genuinely that she gets help, and I feel like she's kind of creating a lot of the chaos that she's enduring by behaving in the way that she is.
Creating all of it.
She is not going to get the result that she wants by doing the things that she's doing. But yeah, I mean,
She's out there, she Skittles has been like warned. Okay, when you tread into the territory where you're involving little ones,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's I'm done playing.
you're crossing
Like
a whole nother
this is,
line.
yeah, this is about to get really serious for her,
Hmm.
and I'm done playing games because I'm gonna protect.
You have to.
Especially that
I think,
I'm extremely fond of little turtles,
yeah.
and
I think Enabler
don't
was just
don't
telling you
don't
the
fuck
months
around.
to go get it, to go
Right,
get.
you are right there.
What
That's
happened?
one of the
Okay,
fucking weirdos right there.
Jellyfish?
Oh,
jellyfish bubbles.
bubbles.
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
already
Can you
blocked
block
it.
that?
You know
As
what?
soon as
I saw a comment about Casey cheating. You're goddamn right. I took her from that abusive piece of shit.
oh, I blocked it as soon as
Aw.
she came in.
Fucking weirdos.
Is that her too?
Yeah.
It's one of them fucking
It's
weirdos.
suggested to be one of them,
Like, how big is her group now, though?
like 4 people.
Jesus Christ. Listen, I figured out that if you're showing up to court with two different shoes on, we have a fucking problem, girl. And you didn't know, so your friends told you walking out of the court? Like, that's wild to me. We need to get in a better headspace here, girl.
Yeah, but I do think, I've always recommended don't respond, even what she did last night. Don't respond on TikTok.
It's
Go,
so hard not
same
to,
thing I
girl. I
told
get it.
her, go get a PO.
Mm-hmm. And
At
Casey,
this point, it is
I will
definitely
give.
more than a PO. At this
Well,
point,
I gave you some information that I think will be helpful because I think that would probably be your best route to go at this point. Um, so I mean, we can talk more about it later.
Yeah.
But un- unfortunately, that state is where I've lived most of my life. Um, but and there, yeah, I sent you what I think that you need now, and we can probably. I think that would be your best bet, at
and
least.
I appreciate it. And no, hold on, for anyone that's gonna flip this. No, there was no doxing. There
None of
was
that.
no
Mm-mm.
personal name, addresses,
Just resources.
birth dates, nothing. Resources.
Yep.
And I'm going to definitely take advantage of it. Turtles and I both. I'm
Okay.
done. I'm done with my personal life being affected by essentially a nobody.
Well, you have to
You
protect
like
your. You have to protect your real life. You have to protect everybody
my
involved in your
family.
real life. Absolutely, yeah. Especially if they're children.
It's been 7 months. Enabler, did you talk about her at all in your lives recently?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so
No.
then, like, last night was completely unprovoked with putting the pictures up, laughing, joking, like, it's not appropriate.
I think the only time she talked about her is when she'd come in and make comments, and then
Yeah,
she
it's
would
when she
block.
fucking comes in.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
We
So
say,
I
go
didn't watch
away.
the live, so I don't know, what was said, or that's why I was asking.
I,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
sit there and bring her up.
No.
Yeah.
I do my
no
there's
one does.
how about this? 75% of the time I ignore. you know, and even if Turtle says something, I'm like, no, 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 no. Let's not, no, you know, and then
And you do really
it
good
gets
with
pushed and then I react.
you
And
do
it's,
really good with saying different. You don't say her by her name though. Usually, you don't. Even when you're talking about other people tonight, you're like the other party or that person. You
I
don't.
do my best. That way I'm I'm doing what I have to do, which I shouldn't even have to do, but I'm doing it for myself and my family's protection to not encourage any kind of bullshit like there was last night. Like, how
Did she
dare
do this
you
late at night on
dox
purpose?
Turtles?
That people
You
aren't on
should have
this
done it
show?
months ago.
Huh?
Did she do it at this time at like super late at night when like not a lot of people are on, or like when
Yeah,
you're
it's
not
usually like 2 or 3 in the morning, around midnight, after
It's
midnight. But a lot of people on this side go live in the middle of the night.
on? What is this side? I'm so confused. What is
Uh,
this side?
like we're all kind of like in the awareness or adjacent to awareness community. Like not
we're
messy
like we're
talk,
not messy.
we're
We
not
got
in
a
messy
little
talk, we're not
response.
in black talk, we're not in any of like
Got it.
people would say we're more associated with like
Exposure
the
live.
awareness side. Huh?
Somebody said I thought it was an exposure. So, oh, I see. What he's, no, he's already
Yeah,
exposed.
I don't know what. I don't know. He's coming
Is
back.
he in Smashley's live? I don't fucking know.
He's
Is he in
posting stuff
Ashley?
on Discord. Oh, is he?
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. We're all sitting here waiting for him to come back. But last night, the live that we had was unprovoked. It was inappropriate. The things that Cassandra said were just way out of fucking line. And Cassandra, before you say, oh, but they say things to me, yes, but two wrongs don't make a right. And you keep making the situation worse. And you are not helping by encouraging Skittles in these lives. Like a good friend would say, hey, maybe we should drop. Maybe we shouldn't do this.
She
And before you
still
say,
stays
"Oh, but
food.
you sit with Florida man who does X, Y, Z," when he does something I don't agree with, I say it.
Mm-hmm.
Skittles is live right now, I guess.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
Of course she is.
That's okay. Well, just don't engage.
Yeah, it's
But she's looking for like her behaviors are that looking for response. It's attention and a response, and I get it, girl. You know me at this point. It's hard to not
He just
respond.
wants any
when
attention.
when it's been
Negative attention to
this
her is
long,
attention, so she'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's so difficult to. I, how about this? I'm not going to go jump in a box with her and argue with her. You know, I
It
did
won't go
do the
anywhere.
D&D with her, and then I thought we were going to have a civil conversation and hash shit out. Like, here, whatever happened in the past, let's get past it.
And let's just
No.
make an agreement to just either move on without talking about each other, or we can coexist, or whatever.
Yeah, that shit did not happen.
But I think
Like,
some
at all.
people that are not in a good place in their lives, though, like again, any attention, even negative attention, is attention, and that's enough for them. And that I think if people stop giving her a box, people stop giving her a platform, people stop
They're
giving her
not going
the
to stop
opportunity.
because she brings them numbers. She brings them storylines. Like, she creates this whole just like last night with the fucking snow. Like, it's like, the fuck, who the fuck thinks of that? And you're going to put a flavor to it? The fuck? It's weird.
But I'm saying, like, when she goes in people's lives and she requests a box, like I saw her in Smashes the other day, and Smash was just, I think she was streaming a live or something like that, or replaying a live, and Jenna had said, "Hey, can I come in the box?" And Smash was like, "Let me get through this, but you're gonna have to be respectful." Da da da, and she let her in, and then she came across very different this time. It was like, "Hey, how are you? Like, don't you think it's kind of weird that, and she started it on the Pastor Petty thing, and then boom, Florida man, like, but ladies, all this was already out like a year ago. Like, don't you think it's kind of weird that Florida man's like focusing on this, like, and people you
Yeah,
can just
but
see in
she
the
did the same
comments.
thing to Pag. Like Pag She apparently has some child stuff on her record from a long time ago, and people are garbage. It was somebody who was in our group, and she had something on her record related to child stuff, which was like, I think I don't remember the time frame, but it was way longer than a year ago. And they drug her. They pulled her into a server in a call and gave her such a hard time about it. But then they want to say give Pastor Petty a pass, and it was because it was a year ago. Say give Pastor Petty a pass, and it was because it was a year ago. Like it doesn't make sense at all.
What
Especially
she said was not
normally
true
really
because the stuff that's being shown now was not shown then because nobody knew it. You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, people knew then that there were charges. People knew then that, but there was nothing ever presented on to kind of think his way. But she's not able to kind of think his way. But she's not. And taking a situation and trying to make Florida Man the fucking, villain when I asked Florida Man specifically when we had our fucking, villain when I asked Florida Man specifically when we had our call, I said, just be honest because I have a feeling that my gut is right on this, that I knew she was able to get things, like, for example, right on this, that I knew she was able to get things like, for example, when I was going through a custody trial with my ex back in 2012, every fucking other day when I'd show up to court, he would charge me with, every fucking other day when I'd show up to court, he would charge me with, he'd go down to the magistrate and charge me with cyber stalking, right? Everything, single one was dismissed. And that has never been on this app ever. I can't even fucking find it. So I asked him, like, I know she had a way of getting that and spreading that to y'all because I'm pretty good
I
at
don't
what
think
I
I
do.
ever heard that, but yeah.
And he admitted to me that she did, and I was like, damn, that's fucking wild as fuck. Like to use your resources that you had, as a professional, right? And whatever.
Wait, she got that information on you?
Yes.
Oh,
She
I
got it through her people. Yeah, because you right and whatever.
wait, she got that information on you?
Yes.
Oh,
She
I
got it through her people. Yeah, because you can't find it. Like it's not.
wait, she got that information on you?
Yes.
Oh,
She got it through her people. Yeah, because you can't find it. Like it's not on my record nowhere because it was, anybody in North Carolina can go to the magistrate's office and I can say that you slipped my fucking tires and they'll, as long as I swear in the Bible it is true, they will put a warrant out for whatever. And there it is. Well, that's always what happened. They were always dismissed, but like it's not on my record. Like the fucking guardian ad litem didn't even find that shit. So like, how the fuck? But she went through whatever resources she has with her, whether she has a friend that still works in the system, whether she has a friend that still works in the system. I don't know, but she got it, and it was posted on here. And Nikki actually was the one that was posting it.
Oh, maybe I did know about it and I just don't remember. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, I just knew there was some way that she was able to get it with her resources of what she used to do, professionally in North Carolina. So I was like, this is bullshit. Like she shouldn't be doing that. And I mean, it is what it is. And it's crazy because now she's coming after me just simply because
You sit in a box with
I
him.
sit with Florida Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the comments are wild. Like we're getting married and like, and I'm like,
oh yeah. Well, yeah, Pag made a joke and did fake, like said that Florida Man sent her flowers for Valentine's Day, then that became like Valentine's Day, then that became like a huge thing for like weeks. Because I think she believed it.
Lost her shit.
Yeah, she was pretty. It seemed like she was upset. I don't know.
Everyone has been fucking Florida Man at some point.
It's fucking weird though. It's fucking
literally
weird
everyone
to come up with that kind of shit. That's wild to me though. I mean, even Moonbeam started that as soon as she flip flopped. Like, oh, Florida Man's gonna be, on her couch, and now it's like, oh, I'm paying Florida Man. And then I think Skittles came in once and was like, oh, she's paying for his math, and I'm like, bitch, you fucking listen. I tried to give him his 1099 for
she did
mailing of that paperwork, and he would not give me his Cash App. I asked Nikki, she didn't fucking know it. I was like, I just
Yeah, I
wanted
don't
to give
know
him,
it.
I wanted to give him back the money for mailing it, and he would not give me a cash app or nothing. So I
Why
have
does
no.
Shannon say that? She said you're using your husband's cash app to pay him.
She said I'm using my husband's money because everybody knows that I don't work.
Oh, yeah. You're I'm gonna make a joke. You're dependopotamus.
Yeah, right. I love that fucking word. Give me a fucking break. Well, and
I'm
that's the
fucking with
thing.
you.
And Stephanie was like, "Oh, her husband doesn't even fucking like her. Like, that's crazy. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary in fucking July, and he still sleeps next to
Correct.
me every fucking night. So I don't know where you guys come up with this shit. It's wild. Like, somebody was in the comments the other day on a burner. I think it was probably Skittles. Like, oh, bougie. What does your husband think of your best friend? I've been on fucking calls with Florida Man because I always talk on speaker, and my husband's around. The fuck, like Miss Neighbor, we were on the phone the other night when my husband came out. I mean, the fuck?
Yeah, half the time when I'm talking, like we're in a box, like I'm downstairs right now, but my husband's right there, so he's pretty familiar with all the players.
I just think
Um,
it's crazy to come after people for shit that's like, like, what do you like? You just make this shit up out your ass,
yeah,
Like,
and then to Pastor Petty House of Lies, your comment about she wants to be a victim. She was a victim in some cases, right? Tattoos and Polly really did a
Yes, she
fucking
was.
horrible job of making her feel like shit was happening to her, right? And they just, she did get doxxed. So she has been a victim in some of this, and then some of it was self inflicted because she just wouldn't fucking stop, right? She wouldn't stop threatening people.
yeah.
She, I'm, very glad that she doesn't know who I am because I'm pretty sure she would have doxed me out of like revenge at some point. But
Yeah.
so she has been a victim in some cases. It's gone way too far by everybody, to be quite fair.
Oh, it most definitely has.
But
I
the victims of this are the two people below us, Enabler and Rudy. And I don't want to call you victims, but you guys have been the targets.
you guys have probably suffered the most of her behavior. It's crazy. I mean, I would love to see her, kind of.
Just because we're adjacent to Florida Man. It's fucking wild.
Well, sometimes too, people. I like you just said what I was going to say. Sometimes people, when other people have good relationships or they're in a place in their life where maybe she sees where you guys are at and that's a place that she wants to be, but she's not. It's almost
Yeah.
like
Well, I think a
it's
lot.
out of
I think, to be
envy.
honest, I think it's because she doesn't have the relationship that we do.
Right.
She's jealous.
Of course, yeah. And I think, again, I think she has to stop and recognize that she has put herself in the place in life where she is at in all aspects, right? We all contribute to our situation in life. Like, she controls her own. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. I mean, I think that you can see she's neat. She craves of that like acceptance, and it's wild to me. I mean, I think that you can see she's neat. She craves of that like acceptance, and she wants that relationship. I think even with him, Florida Man, but I think in her mind, everybody has taken Florida Man's side, and why not me? How come they have taken his side but not mine? But I think in her mind, everybody has taken Florida Man's side, and why not me? How come they have taken his side but not mine?
To herself.
Well, I think she hasn't realized. I don't think she's realized that.
Yeah. Like I was still friends with her up until like beginning of February, and then I distanced myself. Like,
She blames Casey for stealing all of her friends.
yeah, I mean, she kept dropping my DMs. She kept weaponizing me, and that's why I
For
walked
what
away.
though? But for what?
Like, and yeah, so it was just like, okay, I would never do the same thing to her. And so I walked away to protect my own peace.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, I still, every once in a while, she'll scream and be like, where's Wolfie? Get Wolfie in a box. And then for some reason, I'm the police of Florida man in her eyes. Because anytime I'm in a box, I get those questions like, what do you think about what Florida man did? Or, do you agree with, like, she wants me to say publicly something's wrong. And I do. When it's wrong, it's wrong. Like, I'll say it. Or, do you agree with, like, she wants me to say publicly something's wrong. And I do. When it's wrong, it's wrong. Like, I'll say it. I'll say it. So
I
go
mean,
ahead.
I almost wonder if Florida
Sorry,
man.
Turtle was. Hey, Bridget, I'm sorry, but Turtle was about to say something, and
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
That's the thing. If she he admits
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
that's the thing. If she he admits when he's wrong. If she would admit when she's wrong, she won't.
Yeah.
Everyone's made mistakes. Everyone's fucked up. But everyone's made mistakes. Everyone's fucked up. But
yeah.
Yeah. I even wonder though, even if I don't think that even if Florida man didn't talk about her, she wouldn't continue this. Like I feel like I don't think that even if Florida man didn't talk about her, she wouldn't continue this. Like I feel like until he reaches out to her and it's like, okay, hey girl, let's be friends or whatever. That I don't think she's gonna fucking stop. Really, like that seems to be what she wants. I think she would change her attitude and her behavior very quickly if he magically appeared and wanted to be in her life because that's really all it seems like she's craving.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that when this all started, we asked him not to respond, and he didn't. He didn't get in boxes. He didn't say anything, and then it was when she went in Petty's box and started making it seem like the DV to her. That's when he started responding because she did make it seem like he had done things. He had done things that he didn't do that were pretty serious, right? Like false
Oh
jackets.
yeah. I remember hearing about a tape or something about releasing a tape, and I wasn't talking to Florida then, but I was like, "Damn, are you fucking serious?" I remember saying to my friends, like, "He's coming at me for fucking Petty's pictures, but he's releasing tape, like, and
It
then
was a consensual tape, and he
yeah,
deleted it. He sent her proof that he deleted it. She admitted that he sent her proof that he deleted it, and
but then there's text messages of her like, "Oh, I wish you would have recorded this." Da, da, da. Like, what the fuck?
yeah. But I can see, like, when I look like as an adult, when you make that kind of tape, I can see there being some level of paranoia when you go.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But
But I
but
guess I wouldn't make that tape with somebody I didn't fucking know for a long time.
yeah, and then Turtle, you're. I forgot what my point was going to be. Go ahead, and Turtle. Yeah, and then Turtle, you're. I forgot what my point was going to be. Go ahead, and Turtle.
that was just made up.
He's on his way back, by the way. He just texted me.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was after she had convinced us all that he was fucking stalking her.
Yeah,
yeah,
see, I remember seeing the door frame and her saying something about he.
I don't know. That was after she had convinced us all that he was fucking stalking her.
Yeah,
yeah.
see, I remember seeing the door frame and her saying something about he was trying to get in the door and all this shit, and I was like, "What the
She
hell?"
She told
showed
us
her
that. She told us
door.
that a while before that, like a month
Yeah.
before that.
I think just last week she showed her door and it had white paint on it. I think she was talking to. She was in the Sassy Virgo side.
Oh
Live.
god.
She opened the door and showed white paint had gotten on her door, and she thought it was evidence of him trying to get into her place. It was just like, but
She's gonna keep throwing out wild ass accusations. I think, really, to get people. She at this point to get people to stop, fucking with him, like to stop sitting with him. Like it's like she's gonna take it. Like she needs control of the situation, but she is out of control.
she has said she wants to go. She wants no one else to be a victim of him, and that she's going to basically follow him around TikTok and make sure
Well,
people.
what about her? She's making people victims of her.
Yeah,
That's wild. That's fucking crazy. I mean, there's plenty of resources, and I know she knows what they are because she's given people those fucking resources. So,
yeah,
hope she takes them up, and I hope she really gets her life together because this is cannot. I mean, not to mention a lot of the stuff she does off this app is extremely dangerous, in my opinion.
yeah.
And I don't. I would really hate to see something really bad happen to her because she's putting herself in very fucking risky situations.
Yeah.
But listen, she's grown, you know.
Yep. She's a 33-year-old young woman, and she's got a whole life ahead of her. And I think she just needs to forget about all this TikTok drama and move on and forget about us.
I
Leave
know.
Enabler and Turtle alone.
There's so many there's so many better things out there.
Yeah,
It
and then back
only
to the
gets better,
state.
Skittles. Like it does.
It does, and even after everything that's gone on in your life, like, girl, you can turn this bitch around real quick. People do it all the time.
Yeah. And if she did, like, she went and got help and she turned it around and stuff, and then came to me and talked to me.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Ames and M&M's in just because they associate, like, I can't. Ames and M&M's in just because they associate, like, I can't fuck with that. And, I know people will say, oh, but you sit with Florida man and he does fucked up shit. Like, but you sit with Florida man and he does fucked up shit. Like, he does take accountability for it, and I call him out when I think it's wrong.
But if she turned around and she got help, though, she would actually be in a different headspace where she would see that what she's done to Enabler and
Yes.
Turtle is fucking wrong, and you know what I mean. She'd be in a completely different mindset, I think. So
Nikki says it all the time, and Skittles knows that if she came to either one of us for help, we'd help.
yeah, I've heard Nikki say that before, for sure. But
I
sometimes
told her that
people
last
don't
summer.
want it until they're in a place where, she's
Well,
got
yeah,
to hit rock
it took
bottom.
me a long time, so you're ready when you're ready. She knows if she ever needed anything, she could ask us for help.
Not a single one
For
of us
that,
turn her away. Well, maybe Mike would.
for
But,
that, like anything else, I don't want to speak with her.
oh,
But
yeah, agree.
But she's got to hit her rock bottom, I think, and that's the thing. Is a lot of people until she stops, until people stop enabling her and giving her the fucking attention, and until they stop paying her fucking bills and paying for her shit and all the shit, she's gonna have to hit her rock bottom. But until then, she's got to figure it out. She's just gonna keep losing people, and she's gonna keep self-destructing. It's not gonna get any better the way it's going. So
And
it's
she
really
needs to stop twisting the truth, right? Like, a lot of times, some of the things she says are half truths and not exactly what happened.
that's that.
They're twisted to make it look bad for the other people. What were you saying, Turtle?
it is sad to watch.
If it's even like half a truth, sometimes it's like quarter truth,
Yeah.
and she has twisted into something else. She still has that fucking video up on her account on TikTok.
The one where it says you hear and it's actually OG, not an
Yeah, it's OG saying you hear in the background. She said it's Enabler or Casey saying something else.
She tried to say Enabler said the N word. Enabler wasn't even.
She's come in people's lives and said that, like, oh well, Miss Enabler said this, and she says it's bougie. They're both racist, and like, God.
Well, a lot of people have a problem because of how you handled the N word thing. And I don't want to go back and rehash that. But people got a lot of shit for sitting in boxes with you because of that. But it sounds like you had some conversations offline and reflected, and you're saying it's not appropriate. So, what's taking so long for her Wi-Fi to reset? Where's Neighbor?
Oh, she's coming right back.
Yeah, but it wasn't even the live she claimed it was. What does that mean?
She said it was a different live at first.
What was a different live?
But that she said Casey said something in another live.
Oh, yeah. But
then there was a clip, and then
one. Yeah, it's weird.
well, she didn't show the video. She played the audio,
Yeah,
and everyone heard the audio, and then they showed the video, and you can see.
So I just got a message, a screenshot from, I think, Moonbeam's live, where Hazel was in there saying, I only went to Bougie's live because Florida Man brought up Classy. But she was already in the box before
Yeah.
Florida Man brought that shit
Yeah,
up.
Classy wasn't mentioned until
Yeah, she was
Florida
up
Man.
here. She was up here talking for a minute.
Yeah. Hey, you're back.
I am. I had to go rip all those videos off that page.
Off what page?
13's page.
Oh,
They're
oh,
all in.
the
They're all in the.
Seraphai side one, or which one?
Yeah, they're all in the Earthy server.
Oh, I need to join back there. I left. Did you? People are saying they called and went on the website and that court doesn't happen on Sunday. Blah blah blah. Do you have proof of the PO being overturned, like that you can show, or I don't know if you can show
Or
it.
is there like a case number or something that people can call and I mean, not people, but like.
Yeah, I already dropped the case number and both of the servers. I think.
Oh, I have nothing in there. I've been
It's
chatting
in
with
the evidence one.
Shit, fucking call them on here.
Yeah, call them up, everybody.
I don't have a second device, or I would.
yeah, I can't either.
Florida Man, Hazel was just in Moon Live saying that the only reason why she came to my live was because you mentioned Classy, but I remember her being in a box before you even mentioned Classy, because she
Yeah.
came in a box after I corrected her on fucking Veterans and Memorials Day.
I had a text message and it said something about Hazel blocking Classy for petty, but that was wrong. I talked to Classy about it and she said nope. So I was wrong on that part, but that's why I asked her and I didn't push forward or accuse her of anything. She's fucking weird. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her.
I think, maybe a little of overindulgence would be the word.
Maybe.
The emotional response, like for when we weren't talking about any D topic, like there's something else going on there.
Yeah, well, it's been a wash, rinse, repeat cycle of the same thing in several people's boxes for a couple of weeks.
Hopefully she gets better.
Yeah,
I ain't got
weird.
nothing against her,
I
but
just got
she
a
got to
pop up
show.
asking me if I wanted to leave the live. That's weird.
What'd you say?
I just got a pop up asking me if I wanted to leave the live. That was weird.
Huh.
What?
Yeah.
It said, "Do you want to leave the live?"
Yeah, I said, do you want to disconnect from the live? And I was like, no.
But to everybody saying that it's still active, it's not. I take those pretty seriously.
Yeah, you do.
So, fuck them.
Yeah, but
If
do
you,
you have anything? Like,
yeah,
or,
I do. 100% do. I'm gonna let them squirm though.
oh, okay, all right.
Let them talk. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna put all of her shit out there. All of the shit that she's fucked up and done. The Facebook scam where she had her husband go to the LGBTQ community and fake donate sperm, just take the money and run.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah.
How do you fake donate that?
There are Facebook groups that you can do that. You can
People are looking
make deals with
for,
people.
yeah. They do it instead of going to a clinic. Sometimes they do it like privately. Like it's
Oh my
why
God,
that
I saw that
guy,
on fucking like Netflix or something. There's a guy.
the
I
Denmark
saw.
guy,
Oh my God, that was wild.
was he got like 200 kids?
Yes, and it was fucking wild to watch. That shit was. He got a lot of fucking money, and Jesus criminy.
Or the fact that she was not even invited to her mother's funeral. Her mother requested her not to be there.
Oof. Well, you've had 6 months of her just bashing you and getting in boxes and doing fake accusations and even talking about your sex life. Like,
Why do people talk about other people's sex life? I don't get that.
well, Shannon asked her if it was true about the,
Of course she did.
and and then 13 felt it was appropriate to answer that question instead of saying, if somebody asked me about, I'd be like, I'm not talking about my stuff.
So is
But
that what preempted the picture?
yes, that was after like this. That was during the beginning of the like 7-hour live that Shannon had, and then she just kept going on and on about this micropene.
I don't know if this, Caitlin. I don't know. Did you want a box, Caitlin? It was probably an accident. Okay. I'm gonna mute real quick because I have to use the ladies' room.
Okay.
Not the snow, Jenna. Not the snow. How do I mute? Oh wait, never mind. Figured it out.
Like she would know because she never got it, and that's why she was pissed off.
I don't understand. Like, she would say she didn't want to be in a drama, and then she'd make an AI video of you. And she had that lyrical thing, make a whole song about you. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, move on. The guy's not talking to you.
Oh, I'll never talk to her again.
Yeah.
I'll talk about her.
What? So did you just like collect? You've
Oh
been
yeah,
collecting evidence for the past 6 months?
yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost daily. There was something. Her big fuck up was when when we noticed that she was that one account that accused you of false essay. Talked about herself as third party. It was insane.
Yes, that was a big one. There was a couple more. Hold on.
Witchy cookies, you can make him mad. He's been mad at me a couple of times. Like, just don't be a fucktard to him. Is that an appropriate word? I probably shouldn't say that. Don't be a fucker to him. But like, I've been friends with him now for just over a year, and I've made him mad at some times, I'm sure, over that year. And he's not going in lives and bashing me, and I'm not going in lives bashing him. Friends disagree sometimes.
He posted a video about me.
Wait, did he?
Yep.
Oh, well, yeah, but you were, like, you
Hold
two
on.
were actually going at it. Like,
Hold on.
yeah,
So for a couple hours.
yeah.
Hold on. I just got a text, Florida man. I'm gonna need you to check your text right now.
Okay, me and Turtles go at it for a couple hours every couple months.
Yeah. Wait, check the text right now, she said.
I mean, it was a nice video, to be honest. So
But the thing is you two are unbothered by it, right? Like, he made a video and you're like, yeah, fuck him. And then the next day you guys are back friends.
it wasn't a bad video. So
Yeah. They fight over me, that's why. I think all of you fight over me, Enabler. Kidding, kidding. Are you gonna come back up, Enabler?
This was fucking wild.
What's happening?
Mm.
Can't talk about it, or?
I'm gonna leave. Florida man, can you answer that? I don't know if I can.
It is someone that I can't speak about poking into it and trying to be like I'm violating that protection order, which she is in.
Her protection order?
oh my god.
Whatever, but here's 13 faking cancer. Let him squirm. Fuck it. Give him
I
something
don't
to
know
do.
how you would have violated that one. I think for a period you were in the box when somebody mentioned her, and that's when we said, hey, we can't talk about her. I mean, technically we can.
Saying her name and someone else saying her name isn't a violation of his protection with her.
But she's texting me as we speak.
Huh?
But she's texting me as we speak.
That person is texting you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She's full of shit.
I'm not full of shit. That's exactly what's
no,
happening.
not the. It's the other person that
No.
dropped. Pastor Petty has the lies. It's the other person who's texting her.
Mm-hmm.
PO is still active, and so.
Not for long.
But we weren't saying. Well,
I said I'm not in this shit. We weren't
yeah.
just about you.
I mean,
Whatever else is going on with 13
bless
and
you.
Florida Man, if he thinks he can speak about it,
Yeah,
it ain't my fucking business.
If he says the
yeah.
PO's
Ask her how
dropped,
Chuck is.
I doubt
If
he's getting in a box saying the PO's dropped when he spent 6 months
I mean,
avoiding. Like he wouldn't even respond to Banana's message to him, and Banana sent me a message too,
yeah.
asking for if Mike would, and I told her, hey, that's a violation of his PO. He can't talk to her. She'd have to drop the PO in order for like them to move forward. But yeah,
I am so confident that I'm not violating any protection order at all. If anybody out there thinks that I am, by all means, call them up. The Knox County Sheriff's Department in Indiana,
I
the
mean,
Vincennes Police
I don't
Department in Indiana,
know.
or the Knox County Courthouse in Indiana. Call them up. Tell them.
Here's the thing. It's me saying this person's name is not him violating the order. Okay, like that. No.
I mean, go.
yeah, it can be, but there was nothing
Go
back that
report it.
But
involved
Go
him.
sending
report
me a
it
text
then.
message that says "I dare you to play this on your live" is kind of fucked up, frankly. While you're still texting me, so please stop. For the love of God, this is not my business.
Will she send you a video?
Yeah, so I dare you to play this on your live. Bet you won't. The
Yeah,
fuck?
probably not.
Can you ask her how Chuck is?
No, it ain't my business.
All right,
I had to
let's
pull me
let's
some
move
Del
on
Taco.
from let's move on from talking about her. So it's like
You
the
can.
live wasn't about her. And
Why you telling someone else? Go fucking go file it then. If that's what it is, that's what it is. It's all the threats.
in the future, when he's not in a box, I'm curious what she sent you. But we can move on from that now. He's paused. Like,
I,
Yeah, TikTok's most important.
I'm not spreading any misinformation. I said, what the fuck? I was sent. Nothing to do. The fuck. I was sent. Nothing to do with anything else. That's the only time I fucking mentioned your name, darling. This is wild. I haven't heard from you in months, but really, I fucking can't.
Trying to be relevant.
Maybe you should tell your bestie to fucking pay my bestie back the money that she fucking took from her. How about that?
She still hasn't paid that back.
Fuck no. She sent a
Damn,
$20
BB.
payment when we were fucking live that day, blowing up her phone, and hadn't sent the whole thing back. It's fucking wild. But you're pressed in sending me a text message, multiple, I think 10 at this fucking point, about
tonight?
yeah, just now, like all within
Wow.
5 fucking minutes. My phone won't stop blowing up from her.
We weren't even talking about her. At
No,
the
I wasn't.
beginning, it was mentioned, but she hasn't been a
That's what I
part.
said. I mentioned it about what my personal interaction. That's it. It had nothing to do with them and everything to do with what she sent
2 hours
me.
ago.
That's
Okay,
what I said.
ready? In Indy. All right. Uh, in the Knox Circuit Courthouse, in the Knox Circuit Court, Knox County, Indiana, case number blah blah blah. A protective order has been filed against Michael Kenny, respondent, born 1988. In Indiana, a protective order is invalid and cannot be enforced if the respondent, the person the order is against, is not served with a copy of the order. Service ensures the respondent is aware of the order and any potential consequences of violating it. Without proper service, a hearing scheduled to address the protective order will not occur. and an ex parte order issued without the respondent's presence will expire if not extended by the judge.
There's a
Okay.
date of the right of order issued on, but I can't see it.
Okay, but okay.
It was never good to begin with.
A respondent has not yet been served. It has not yet been served.
It
Issued
was,
on, what does that say, 11 something? Okay.
yeah, it was never good to begin with.
Okay. But where's something saying that it was dropped?
Well, it was
It
issued.
can't be served at all now because I'm going to go to the courthouse Thursday.
Well, and you got 6 months of her going in boxes and saying stuff like actually harassing you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to get one on her. And while I get one on her, I'm going to get the other one dropped because the other one is in boxes talking to a bunch of people saying, oh, get the guns and shit. Okay, that's wild as fuck. I'm going to get one. Get the guns and shit. Okay, that's wild as fuck. I'm going to get one on her too.
I'm confused though. You weren't in the court hearing the day that they got these?
I was served less than 24 hours before the court date. That is when the piece of paper ended up on my door.
And Indiana requires 10 days notice.
Yes.
And so he was less than 24 hours. He didn't go to court because he didn't know about it. He was in North Carolina.
Well, I was told that he was in court.
No. He was in court for the other one, not this one.
Got you. Oh, I thought it was the same day or something.
One is in August. The first one is in August. You go ahead. Hey, Ron.
Twice.
Hi, guys. Hey, Beast Mode, go fuck yourself and get out of here. And the next time you want to report when I'm saying in a live, tell the people to come fucking listen to me directly.
I'm modding you.
God damn.
Who's the Gen Z? They said he was at Skill's house and had the paperwork at her house. I have that person blocked. Butterfly Kiss? I don't know who that is.
I modded you, Rem, by the way. Did you want to be in the box? I Google everything. I don't. Hello?
I did not have no paperwork at Skittles' house. I've got the phone call recorded from the courthouse saying you were served on the 25th and the court date was on the 26th.
And you weren't emailed the paperwork or anything?
No.
I know in my state, the email service is not, like, for protective orders, you can't.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I've never had one issued. So
Generally, protective orders have to be served by law enforcement to, ensure the service and the person knows what is in the order, if that makes sense. Like, they generally have to be served by law enforcement. If not, you have to at least have it served by a private server that can validate.
In Indiana, you can be served by a first-class mail. But I was able to prove through my location history that I dumped into the receipt server, I wasn't in Indiana.
North Carolina.
Yep, I was able to prove that. I was able to email that over to the courthouse and show them I wasn't in Indiana, along with a video of 13 getting in Petty's box, knowing that I was not in Indiana at all, because it was said while she was in the box that I was at Skittles' house in North Carolina.
So it was dropped because of the not complying with the service requirement. It wasn't dropped because she's been in box for the past 6 months.
No, if I would have went to the courthouse to try to get the other one dropped, I'd have been served that one too. Okay. But now this one cannot be served because it's dropped because she's been constantly harassing my ass for the last 6 months.
Well, now you have a case against her because what she's been doing has been insane.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Are you? And so you're going to do that. You can file it online. You don't have to do it Thursday, right? You can do an EPO.
Yep. I'm going to do it. It's through Indiana Legal Help. It's how you file all the motions and file cases and all that shit.
Hey, Florida man, I'm pretty good at it if you haven't figured it out by now.
You know what? Let's get it.
Is this Flat Twos and Flabalax or whatever? What does that account? Is that?
They're good. They're mocking tattoos and Cadillacs.
All right, just checking. Because somebody just sent me a text and I was like, I don't know.
She's posting her pics in lives right now, or she's been doing it for like 6 months, like posting these pictures, making AI videos, asking lyrical, whatever that lyrical thing is, to make songs about him. Like, and I even said in messages with her, like, she needs to stop. Like, she's instigating shit and move on. But for some reason, she won't. And her shit's been like, he told her to leave him alone in October. Now you did like make a lot of fucking videos about her, like the U-Haul ones and stuff like that, but you didn't do the real life stuff she's accusing you of, or at least, to my knowledge, you didn't.
I'm here. I'm just ordering Del Taco. So give me a second.
Yeah, I don't know who this Gen Z person is, and they keep. Do you want to take a box, Gen Z? But you're not gonna come up here and play something without talking, because when anyone know,
Yeah, we're
not
not
really
doing
know
that.
your like legal name, but I have you blocked for some reason. I keep saying that.
Butterfly.K1SS is their
I
thing.
don't want anything sent to me. You can't. You can't send me. I have my shit locked down. What's the video of? If it's related to the PO that's active, I don't want it.
Who's Joel? They keep asking for a box, but I don't know who they are. Joel, who are you? Wolfie, can I just mod you
Sure.
since you're Florida Man's mod? Is that cool?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, Gen Z's Skittles? Are you Skittles?
Are you Skittles?
I'm asking. I'm not accusing. Somebody just said that you were.
Can we play with it? Stop with the
Oh,
games.
she did the whisper thing. So
Yeah.
maybe.
I've been good, Hot Wheels. How you been?
Oh, you assumed.
Oh well, they're muted now. Now they're blocked.
Well, because we don't want that video. Like, we don't want anything to do with that other person. Um. Well, it took 6 months. Why did it take so long, Mike?
That I don't know. But
And
I was just
judges are
thinking,
slow as hell to make a decision on it.
the courts are decently slow around here, honestly.
I think they're slow a lot of places after COVID. Like, they didn't, even like DMVs, they didn't staff back up to the levels they were prior to that. Like, if you want to get a DMV appointment, like my youngest is getting her permit in June, we're gonna have to go to DMV at like 5 o'clock in the morning to be in line, first in line for the walk-ins at noon. So we like bring camping chairs. It's insane.
Yeah, the DMV down in Florida takes for fucking ever.
Yeah. You have to book your appointment here, and you essentially have to go on at midnight when they release the appointments for 3 months from now. And it's like the lottery. If like it's like waiting for concert tickets and being trying to see if you can get one when it opens, and half the time you can't, which is why we just end up camping out in camping chairs. Rem Rem Hot Wheels asked if they know you.
This one.
Oh, oh. I don't know. Mike's keeps pausing.
I didn't know that you knew Hot Wheels.
I don't know.
I have
Annie and Annie and the whole lot of them. Pam,
Oh.
the whole lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that whole mess.
That whole mess. Hey, Squishy
Daddy
Squish.
Dak.
Oh gosh, yep. Yep. I used to be with Jennifer and Hot Wheels and Jesus.
Then everybody split up, and then some
And then they
became
get back
friends
together
again.
and they
And
split up and then part of them get. It's crazy.
yep,
Squishy, you are up late, girl.
I used to watch him when he would go fishing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was supposed to meet up with them when he was down here, but my husband's father had an emergency, so I couldn't. But then they moved away.
I know lots of people.
Sorry, I had to screen record somebody posting something on a public platform about me antagonizing me.
On a public platform?
Yeah. Shouldn't be doing that. Don't antagonize people.
You're just
Right now?
right now, Florida man.
Yeah, right now.
Oh Lord,
But it's okay. It's okay. I got it already.
I'm dealing with the same shit with fucking Street Glide's ass these days.
I don't even know who that is, but it's okay.
It's like she's the what started Petty going after me, to be honest with you. My number was put on Reddit on about 5011 fucking pages a few days ago.
Jesus. Have you changed that?
Oh no, girl! I have a call block. I was notified about it by a friend of mine who saw it. I have a call blocker, so unknown numbers do not ring through. And no, she did, Squishy. She absolutely did. And so I noticed that it still notifies me when I get calls, that somebody called and it was blocked. And so I noticed I was getting some calls a few days ago, but whatever I do, I get that a lot. But then I got a text on like late Thursday night or Friday, and it was like, your number is all over, and it was on like some weird ass wild Reddit pages, and they were on snark pages for just like the people that she associates with. So it was like, what the fuck?
You should report those. If you do it through the mod code of conduct reporting, the page gets hit, not it bypasses the mods.
Oh, really? I don't know how to do any of that. Like Turtles is
I can send you information on how to do it.
Yeah, I saw it, Pastor Petty House of Lies, and it's hilarious to me. Because this is all the same shit Pastor Petty showed a year ago, and none of it is. There's like, yeah, it's wild. I'm not worried about it. It's all regurgitated bullshit. But she does this because she's being exposed by another group, which is the same thing that happened this time last year. So it's a pattern of fucking behavior, and it's wild to me.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
And for the people like that you're kind of at war with now, it's a term I'll use, right? Like through videos and all this stuff, right? If they were open to a one-on-one conversation where you guys could talk shit out, would you do that?
Of course I would.
Because I think that's the only way this stuff gets squashed, and it just people can move forward, right? And you may leave that with agreeing to disagree, but
Well, I have been open to that. I've attempted to do so at times. I think from what I've gathered, the people that are doing this are the same people that were doing it to me when I was going after SWAT, and they were like, "Oh no, she's great. She's not scamming any money." And then they're all Petty's people. So it's
oh well, the Petty's people we probably won't get.
well, they're the same people. Petty's people were SWAT people because Petty was with SWAT at one point. And it's just kind of trickled over. into that. So, I mean, listen, I can't control what other people do.
Yeah.
I know, I mean, I have receipts on all my shit. And I mean, there are other people that can vouch that the things that are being posted and said or did not involve me. Um, and I just think it's crazy that people will send receipts to people and not speak out. Like, you have a public platform. You go live and sell shit all the time. Why can't you go in all these scammer beggars, whatever you want to call them, lives and do all the fuckery. I don't understand why you can't get in a box and address this shit. Like, but she wants everybody else to post all her quote receipts. They're the same fucking receipts Pastor Petty showed in his live on May 4th about me for 3 fucking days.
Mm.
With no context, completely different timelines, different fucking people. And it's like, I fucking can't. People just want to go after me to like have the next big thing. Like, I didn't realize Florida Man had given the complaint to like Dora and Ratina in a live that Pastor Petty filed on me for that violation of a peace order. I didn't know he did that. And so
I didn't know he did it. So
after that live, it was crazy because when we talked, he was like, "That's why I told her to read the complaint, but she wouldn't read the complaint. They want," and then he was like, "You see my point? Like, they had the facts, they had the dates, and they're sitting there arguing over a fucking layover when they have it right in front of them, and instead of just reading the truth, they want to fucking focus on some shit to like make me the bad guy." And it was crazy to me. Like, they wanted my bank statements and shit. I was like, look at the date of the complaint, guys, and then look at the date that I was in South Carolina. 2 weeks apart. 2 fucking whole weeks. And you guys are pressed on a fucking layover? And the shit was filed 2 weeks prior to that? Stop. It's wild.
I always have a plan, like always, in an argument.
what?
I said I always have a plan when I go to argue with somebody
Oh,
or to
yeah.
present something. All bases are covered.
Well, half the time, like, I don't even know what it is you're going to do, and I'm just like, yeah, he always has an agenda or a plan, like that. Someone's like watching a TV show, and you don't know what the series finale is going to be.
Yeah, it's like Grey's Anatomy with a trash ass finale, and then I gotta wait 4 months to see what happens next. But I mean, he didn't even tell me he was doing that. It did not tell me. And I'm sitting over here like screaming at my phone, about to throw it across the street because I'm like, oh my God, somebody just say it's two. Look at the fucking date. And it was like, he had a method to his madness, and I respect that. But it's taken me a while to kind of get used to his moves. But I know he's definitely not stupid. I've learned that, and I have to say that I have a completely different opinion about him after having a very lengthy conversation with him than I did, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
He's smart. He knows what he's doing, and he knows what he's doing with
and
his
he is human. Like, I see humanity in him. Like, he's not a fucking piece of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah. But again, I think we had to have a conversation, and honestly, he got me at probably the only time I would have ever been willing to have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point I was like, well, I got nothing to fucking lose, so who cares, right? And he wanted to talk on Discord, so I downloaded the app and I made my name like, what the fuck am I doing? But by the end of that call, I think I had cried twice, and he'd apologized, I'd apologized. We talked about a lot of things, and I mean, I have been very transparent with him. What's funny is that OG's the one that came to me about him wanting to talk to me, and I had seen her like in lives, and she was like, I have shown him my texts and da 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 da. You just to be honest with him. And so we have this conversation, and then I get off the phone with him the next day, and OG's like, oh, by the way, I deleted some of our conversation when I sent him the text. And I'm like, wait, what happened to being fucking transparent and honest? Because that's what I was doing. I was like, girl, I'm over here telling him, like, giving him all my stuff. And I mean, he's seen things differently, I think, when he was able to look at what I had and what my conversations were. And people are so pressed on seeing this phone dump and all my messages. And really, like, he's even said, like, dude, I'm so bored. Like, those messages are so boring. Like, you really are not. I'm not out here messaging people like, oh my God, here's all their stuff, date of birth, like, here's all their information. None of that.
I do think it like escalated into something ridiculous. But like you know, when your grandbaby got put up there on that thing, like even though it was a small profile picture, I remember him being like, Did I put it up there?" Like he
He
didn't.
fucking knew he did.
Yeah.
He fucking knew he did. He knew everything he was doing. I mean, he knew. He knew. I have watched him like go live at the same time we are, or right after, when like I was with Thinning Out Nonsense and we were doing a live with Thinning Out Nonsense and Samantha Know Where to Go. And I
Yeah, I
mean,
was
he
in that
immediately
line.
went live and posted my husband's fucking military ID that I had sent him redacted, right? To
Yeah.
prove to him that my husband was in the military, as he's telling people that I am not married and my husband is whatever the fuck, you know, I'm a barracks bunny and, you know, hopping from man to man because I'm broke, which is wild, but yet I have 80 grand of surgery done to my face, which is also fucking wild. Um, and he posted it on the green screen, and then I know you'll know what I'm talking about, Wolfie, if you're in the military, but then
Yes.
filed a fucking PAC complaint. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Right, and filed it like with NCIS first, right? Claiming to be an Army officer named his wife. Get the fuck out of here. She's not an officer, number one, and number two, you did that. Um, a PAC complaint against a civilian is wild as fuck. Told people that my husband was being called in the CO's office, and if you see her online, let me know because he's on his way home. She's not allowed to be on TikTok. Like, where the fuck do you get this? Like, oh, she was ran out of base housing because of her kidnapping charges, and so her husband called in a favor to the Marine Corps, and they were stationed at a secret base, right? The secret base that Top Gun was filmed at. Like, I'm fucking confused. Okay, you know, like that's not for somebody being in the military. You should know better than that. That just sounds absurd, but people believe it. It's fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
And I know you were sent. I'm gonna like just address another thing that I had questions about. I know you were. I think you were sent his adult content. And there's
Yeah, I
no
was.
shame in that. There's no shame in doing that kind of like work
Not at
or
all.
activities. But there were a lot of lives like showing pictures from there, giving the username. Like even Scammy Calls did one, right? And do you regret doing that? I mean, that felt like a line. Like,
I didn't post any pictures of him.
yeah, you didn't, but you did participate in the lives.
What lives? Because I was not in the lives with Megan and Shannon when they were watching the video. That was not me. I was
Oh,
not.
you weren't in those? Okay, then I'm
No,
mistaken.
fuck no. I didn't. I didn't even have that fucking video. I would never even wanted that video. Shannon's mod sent it to me for Shannon while they were watching it because their faces are in the fucking screenshot of them watching this video. It was wild.
They sent you what? Because you just said you didn't have the video, but then you said someone sent it to you.
Oh, she sent me the screenshot of them watching
Oh,
video.
okay. I just wanted to make sure it was clear.
No,
So,
fuck
yeah.
no. I even told the person that sent me the photos, stop fucking sending those to me.
Yeah, I think it
I
was
was
really
grossed
inappropriate.
the fuck out. And honestly, like I knew they were out there. I mean, Sam had told me they were out. People knew they were out there. I didn't really fucking go looking for them, frankly.
Yeah.
I think when I saw what I saw, I was a little perturbed at the fact that, I mean, you're saying all this shit about me, but you are fucking doing this fuck shit with, I mean, and you're on here preaching relationships and so on and so forth, and talking about mine, mind you, right? While you're fucking 6 other bitches in base housing is weird as fuck to me. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry I even asked. Didn't mean for it to go down that.
Well, I mean, that was my problem with it. It wasn't about what the fuck you do on the side. I mean, do whatever you want to do, but I'm just saying, don't, you know, don't fucking do, like, even Florida Man came at me and I was like, well, he should never have he should never have done this shit live streamed on a fucking public forum on the internet. It
Yeah.
is forever, right? And I wasn't posting them or anything like that. That's disgusting, frankly. Um, Wiener. Yeah, and then I had this one over here, like Wiener Watcher. Wow.
I think that's when you blocked me, was during the Wiener Watcher live.
Probably, I was pissed. That shit was. I was like, ew. Like, stop saying I watched that. It's like I don't. I don't know if. I mean, I am like in my perimenopausal stage. Okay, like that is just not a thing that I'm into these days. All right, and certainly not somebody else's. You know, it. I think there just got to be a point where, like, I mean, yeah, I mean, because if it was me and I had that, people found that shit on the internet of me, oh god, it would be a completely different response from everybody on this fucking app.
Yeah. I think that if he is a woman, people would be in an uproar about all the lives that were had, and so I do empathize with that side of it.
I mean, I came to him with like a hey, I'm cool. Like, if you just not talk about me, and at that point I hadn't gone live or anything like that. Like, I'm cool with you, and just please don't fucking mention me again. And it was like immediately, as soon as I sent that email, he went live. Immediately, it was like no matter what the fuck I did to try to like mitigate this shit, he. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because he ultimately saw like how things ended up with Slot, and he. But then I quickly figured out that I'm not the first person who's done all this fuck shit to. Anybody that has exposed or attempted to expose the truth, he's gone real life on and done this wild ass shit. And I think that's also kind of about the time, the kid was spoken about in the way that it was. I was like, this is fucking crazy. I can't, like, I'm not cool with that kind of shit. And frankly, I mean, nobody else should have to go through this, frankly, again, because I mean, these are the tactics that people use to silence people, so that they're have to go through this, frankly, again, because I mean, these are the tactics that people use to silence people, so that their shit doesn't come out. But you cannot do that and go and do all this fuck shit about other people and make up lies and all this stuff, and then expect that your truth shouldn't be fucking revealed. Like, that's crazy. But I learned it with Slot. Like, people will discredit you, and they will get everybody to fucking hate you if they feel like you are gonna expose the truth about them. I mean, I guess then don't be on here telling people how to live their lives and do all those things.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah.
Miss Enabler, did you disconnect Turtles?
And then before anybody gives me shit for being your mod, I was
Oh my god, do you want me to unmod you?
no, it's fine. Debbie, I was Debbie the pet lady's mod for a day. My Florida Mick
Oh
went
my
into
god,
Boston
I
and made
can't
her
listen to
mod.
her talk. Oh my god.
I know, but I got to be her mod for a day. It was pretty funny.
It worked. It did work.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
you
were
did it
like,
on
let's see if
purpose?
she'll mod me. Yeah, he asked her and she modded me. But I was for about 48 hours. I was her mod.
Oh my god, I have listened to her live for all about 5 minutes and I couldn't because I can't stand how she screams and
Yeah,
oh my god. I don't know
she's
how
a whole
people
character, right? She was on Howard Stern and
was
like
she
it.
really?
Yeah, you should look it up. There's an interview of her on Howard Stern like years ago.
What? About what though? Like, what was it about?
I don't know. I can't remember now. I maybe somebody else remembers, but yeah, I think she's a character. Like, and
She
yeah,
is.
it works for her. She makes money off of it, and
I just remember Mallory doing something about her and a raccoon or some. I don't even fucking know what it was. Saving it, like she had some animal there that they were trying to rescue. Was it a raccoon?
oh shit, I didn't know that. Howard Stern got a restraining order on her.
Stop, Squishy.
No way.
She was in prison for what? I'm curious.
I did not know that. God, please box up and spill his tea. Spill his tea.
Yeah, Squishy. Squishy, we want to know. Nuh-uh.
No way.
I am dying. Oh, girl, you better stop. Take that back, Enabler. Take that back right now. You're the one that's wiener watching, Miss Naylor. Oh my gosh, who is the man? Hey, Grandma.
Wow, maybe there's Reddit. I might go down that like a rabbit hole on Reddit.
Right?
That's so interesting to me. That's like true crime.
While you're going down that Reddit hole, if you happen to see a post that says "call me" and there's a number that's with the 9, can you report that?
Yeah.
Thanks. Hey, Grandma.
Talk to Turtles afterwards, and if you have links, go get links.
I just got screenshots of the
Yeah.
pages that they're in, but
You need the if you can get people to get you the links, because
the
Yeah.
pages that they're in, but
you need the if you can get people to get you the links, because that's what you need to do the mod code of conduct.
oh my
It's
god.
against Reddit's code of conduct to dox, do, and harass. And so if you use the mod code of conduct it's a different link. You don't do it on the post. You actually go to a certain link and you report it. It bypasses the Reddit page.
Okay.
The mods don't even get told what post was reported, who reported. It goes right to Reddit admin.
I can't believe that these mods didn't immediately take this shit down, because by the time I was sent the screenshots, it had been 3 days that they were that it was posted.
Yeah, it's not
And
appropriate.
it's like, call me, and then it's my number. And they're on some very vile Reddit pages, by the way, like disgusting ones, as well as like snark pages for like Lori Jones, I think, Boss Lady. All these, are they scammers, beggars? I don't know what they are. That she has been involved with. It's fucking wild.
I don't know who that is.
I also want the snark page on me taken down, frankly, because
Oh, there's a smart page about you?
yeah, me,
I
because
know there's a new one for Florida Man.
yep, there is. Whenever I was
No.
friends with her, she copied every fucking picture off my Facebook, and they seem to be coming up on TikTok. They've made accounts with like, they posted my minor daughter on their Reddit page that got taken down last week.
Oh, they denied that when Viking asked them. They said there was no minors in there.
Oh, that my child was in elementary school in that photo. It's fucking crazy the shit these people do.
There's videos on YouTube where Deb calls Howard's show and yells at him. Oh my God,
I guess her wife,
rabbit
his
hole.
wife, got the RO and then included him on it. Is what they said down there.
So they only told Viking there were no minors on that page, so he wouldn't go there and download the image.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, I just agreed with you. I meant like I thought you were saying he wouldn't go there and give him a shit, and you were like, go there and download the image. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but by then, I mean, look at how many people had this fucking photo. There's only been 2 people on this app that have been my Facebook friend. And so the pictures only came from 2 fucking people, but they keep popping up on accounts. Moonbeam had one on the other day that
Yeah, Moonbeam was scrolling through like a slideshow of pictures of you.
she got them most likely from either Street Glide or one of my old Discord mods. It's fucking crazy. I think it's so not like so inappropriate. I mean, you don't have to mess with my children.
No, Squishy said someone called the cops on her last Tuesday. Who? Deb the pet lady?
No, I think Lori Jones.
Oh, she's wow.
Yeah, she's really after my Squishy.
She's like Beth Osborne. That's what she reminds me of.
Dead the Fat Lady called CPS on Dixie Lee like 2 weeks ago.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. No reason.
Squishy, did the cops come to your house? I'm pretty sure Squishy said that Lori Jones told her to pull up, so she did.
She said call the cops on me. She called the cops on us Tuesday. Why did you feel bad, Enabler? I first called that box. Well, look what you did, Enabler. It's all your fault. Kidding.
House of Lies, whenever you say big with Moonbeam, you have to capitalize big to really emphasize on how big of a disappointment she is.
Talk about it. She was she had been my friend since the fucking slot days, and Moonbeam had put my fucking number in the chat, in Slot's chat, like literally the second day I was on this fucking app. Wow. And I forgave her over that. Like, we had been cool, and for her to do this fuck shit is wild to me.
She told me to pull up, then called and told them I was stalking her. That's funny. Yeah, Mean Boomer or Mean Beagle. That's her new name.
God. I mean, and she sat there in the live the other day and gave my husband's whole fucking first and last name and was like, "Oh, um, I'm gonna call his command. What's that say? Eggs."
What's this? Who's this from up top? Is that Moonbeam?
Yeah.
This is Moonbeam talking about Holly Mae getting funded from Slot about having her best friend do a fundraiser for her funeral, and she made money off of it.
Is she the green text or the white text?
Moonbeam is the white text.
Okay, so Moonbeam says she's mad about the funeral money. What's that say?
Well, fuck her.
Well, her, she shouldn't have cussed me. I spoke to Brandy today, and she remembers what
When Slot was fundraising for Holly Mae's
I don't know my
mother-in-law's
contacts in here. Why
funeral.
don't you read it?
Look, I like it's so small. Moonbeam said exactly. Slot. That's my point. Holly Mae benefited monetarily via her association with Amy. I didn't know anything about a Lisa Cowgirl fundraiser, and that's besides the point. Holly Mae still lying. I said, but remember that Heaven's Cowgirl night when she was in there making all these promises, which that was like an Oprah Winfrey show. Slot opened up the live that night, which was the second night she did the live with Heaven's Cowgirl, and let people know she was raising money for a funeral. So let me get this. So essentially, we all that were going after Slot for being a fucking scammer because we felt like she was definitely scamming fucking money just based off what we had seen. There was two nights, February 15th, 14th and 15th, where this girl came in Slot's live and was like basically promising everybody from their firstborn child to a fucking like I mean, it was wild. Like, oh hey, I'm gonna give all your moms $1,500 and Hippie Harley's family, I'm gonna give you guys a trip to Legoland. I mean, Slot, I got all this money from my unalived husband, and I am gonna open up a DV shelter and name it after you. We all were like, what the fuck? Well, the second night that carried over, Slot started their live by saying, I'm doing a fundraiser, but I can't say who it's for because a bougie, she'll drag me. But where this girl needs money for her husband's funeral or whatever. So we asked in the chat for the funeral home name. Like, let's donate to the funeral home. Oh, I don't know that. You need to send it to me, da 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 da. So of course we were like, that's a scam. That's a fucking scam. Well, come to find out, it wasn't a scam, fucking scam. Well, come to find out, it wasn't a scam. At least that person was Holly Mae's best friend that they were raising money for. But the way that Holly Mae took it and the way that Slot communicated it to them, was that I was saying that incident was a scam. We were saying, well, it looks like she's scamming fucking money because it just seemed very odd that you weren't going to give us the funeral home name if you want people to donate fucking money, right? Like, at least get that. But that's essentially why that whole shit has been an issue. But we talked.
So you were the green text on that message?
Yeah, I was the green text.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I I had a whole like private conversation with Holly Mae about it, and I mean, I had a whole like private conversation with Holly Mae about it, and I mean, I thought we were good, but this shit has just continued to fucking go and go and go.
Well, maybe at some point in the near future, you guys can have another conversation offline, one-on-one.
I read the messages. They were good, and Holly Mae just kept going.
We were good enough that she gave me her whole entire trauma story, and I gave her a fuck ton of resources, and yet she gets on here with Florida Man, and it's like, Bougie's got people's information, and like, what about his victims? And I'm like, I have had your information. You gave it to me, yet I have never spoken it ever. And I would never, But she doesn't want to tell people that.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why people would be upset that like their information was shared to you. And then I can also see like that people would expect you to like come and tell them that you got their information, that you deleted it.
Well, to be honest with you, like I didn't even notice half the time when I was being sent this by this one person because it was just like it. Florida man, can you explain that shit? Because you do better than I do about how
Okay.
like how Rissa, for example, all the messages with people's shit, like it was in her
Oh,
conversation.
yeah.
Rissa, for example, all the messages with people's shit, like it was in her
Oh,
conversation.
yeah. So a lot of the times, like, it would be like, where is, as an example, where is Miss Enabler Live? Now, that question was never asked. It's just an example.
Yeah.
Rissa would respond and be like, oh, you mean full government name, aka TikTok name?
Yeah, or like, hey, this, not this bitch, da 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 da, all of her information in this live, like, what? Da, da, all of her information in this live, like, what? And honestly, I didn't pay attention to most of it. I didn't even respond to most of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? This is weird as fuck.
Rissa was the one that was making the accounts with Queen of Blessings, like full ass address on it and shit, and going into lives that she was in, and gifting, and a rose here, a rose there, and then just talking and really antagonizing her. And I'm not sure what she had against her, but Stephanie was the one doing it to Smashly.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a text where I was like, were you that account that just went in there and gave her whole fucking address in the chat? And she was like, yep, I told her not to fuck with me. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
For a little while there, someone told us, they came into like a live and told us you were Pastor Petty's House of Lies. So we thought it was you.
Everybody thought I was Pastor Petty's House of Lies. And me and Pastor Petty House of Lies were like, this is fucking weird. I mean, I have been now they're trying to say I'm the Peace account and they have my picture like scanned up next to Now they're trying to say I'm the Peace account and they have my picture like scanned up next to Duffy's picture, like, oh, it's definitely her. Like,
Wait,
I
that other picture is Duffy?
yeah, I guess. And they have like they did a video where like our faces mesh in the photo and they're like comparing it and they're like, oh yeah, that's definitely her. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like the other day they had on their as their green screen in their live, like I guess I had a camera slip when I was live last week or something, or in a box last week, and it pointed down to the fucking carpet in my garage where I sit and smoke. And they made that their green screen. We're like, oh my god, do you need like a cleaner? Like,
Well, it's
they were
outside.
talking about my fucking concrete floor, bitch. Please. And then Regina posted a whole picture of my house just a few days ago. My whole fucking house.
Was that before you guys put her picture up?
No,
I have not put her picture up, and that was
Well, I
way.
say you guys because you guys were in the live. So was that? Did she put your picture up first?
no, I put
First.
her house up in response to her putting her house up.
Well, that's what I was asking. Yeah, like it was yours in response to what she did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm literally in my garage. The fuck is the problem? Like, at least I have a carpet down. Like, the fuck? I mean,
I wonder if like, so it doesn't sound like there's a way for people to come to agreement, but I wonder if there's a way to just say, okay, look, we're done. This isn't going to go anywhere. Like,
yeah. Well, that's the
I-
thing.
so-
Until I got with Florida Man, I didn't go live about I was not.
I didn't expect the Rutina thing to go the way it did. I thought Rutina was just going to take a box and talk it the fuck out. But she ended up blocking me and posting about me, and I'm like, well, she's just like everybody else. I'll settle it with all of them. I just want a conversation in a box, one-on-one with them.
yeah, you have been asking for box conversations for a while.
Petty too.
Petty's never going to get in a box with you.
I know.
And,
I know.
yeah, like that ship sailed.
Well, it needs to sail, but it needs to just sail quietly because at the end of the day, listen. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, to go to the levels of which, I mean, Wolfie, I don't know if you know this, but like the girl before me that like tried to expose the truth. I mean, there were TPOs filed against her and making claims that she called in a BOMB threat to the base and came on base and posted wiener photos on his door, tried to pick up his kids from school. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
3 times this happened. Yes, 3 fucking times. I have every single one of
Did he
them.
get that PO or no?
I have every
Did he get that PO or no?
I have every single one of them.
Yeah, but did he get the PO or
No, fuck no.
So-
He filed it and then wouldn't go to court.
because he
And
didn't have the evidence to support it?
Right, but how the fuck? I mean, how the fuck are you going to say that on a court document, right? Like, do you know how silly that sounds? Like, I would think any court official would be like, a bomb threat to a base? That's wild. Like, there has to be some sort of, evidence, something. You would think the base, it would have made news, right? It would have made news in the local area that that they had to shut the base down or something like that. Local area that that they had to shut the base down or something like that. Like, I don't get it. It then flew to her city and filed a police report on live in front of her fucking police department, and then filed a false police report, like just a taunt front on live in front of her fucking police department, and then filed a false police report, like just to taunt her. The fuck?
No, I do know Holly Mae said she'll get in a box if Bougie's also in the box. Is
I
that
have been in the box with Holly Mae, and I'm not doing it again because Holly Mae does not listen. Holly Mae believes her own bullshit and what people have told her, and she's no. I've done it before. It's not happening.
Okay. Well, I was just trying to help. I just would like to see it resolved for everybody because it's going to take you on.
I would be willing to settle my beef with Holly Mae through Ratina in a box.
Through Ratina in a box?
Yeah. Ratina can talk for her.
Holly Mae comes at Florida Man and everything, and all these things that Bougie's done. I mean, even in Pastor Petty's live, it's like it's always something to do with Bougie, and I'm like, what? What are you fucking talking about? Like, I can't. I tried to help her one time when Indian Outlaw made videos and posted her fucking information out there and all that stuff, and she was freaking out, thinking that he somehow got it from the court because she had it sealed. So I privately messaged her, and I was like, this is how he got your information, girl. It's a third-party site. Like, here are the resources. We had a long-ass conversation about it. Third-party site. Like, here are the resources. We had a long-ass conversation about it. And she said she'd apologize publicly, and she apologized to me privately, but then went over into Miss Unknown's live when they had that messy live about me and hide your kids and hide your grandkids. There's a child predator on this app, and didn't even say a fucking word. No, like, hey, y'all, I've talked to her. She's shown me everything. That's not true. Oh, no, none of that. True. Oh, no, none of that.
I am pretty sure his wife left him. I think that today was just for show.
No, I mean, look.
Oh, what happened today?
Marriages have bumps in the roads. Like, we're not in their house. Like, maybe they had an argument and she was gone for a few days and now they're back. But it was weird. She got
It might have been TID or something. Oh,
she might have been getting a little paranoid about Queenie being all up in there, being the co-host.
She was in the box. She got in the box. He was live and go ahead, Paul.
Oh no, you're good. Good.
He went live. It was weird, and she was saying things, and someone called him eye candy in the comments. She was saying things, and someone called him eye candy in the comments, and that didn't go over well. And then he ended his live, but then he came back like almost immediately, and it was with her in the box. He wasn't speaking, and she kept saying, most of you in the comments are good. Like she kept kind of repeating that over and over again, and then the live suddenly ended.
Did you see her, or was it just her speaking?
Just her speaking. But it was a new account that showed up, and it was made a mod. And it was a following account, so it's like she made a TikTok account. So look, we don't know what's going on in their marriage, and we don't need to.
I like to assume when it comes to that.
I know he did say that what you posted of her mom, Florida man, was he made the comment and he said yesterday, oh, you mean when they posted some woman and claimed to be my mom? And I'm like, too bad it is your mom. But okay.
Okay.
But okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Now,
about to get real
take that
degenerate.
away. I don't agree with that.
I know. But Mama went to federal prison, and we got to expose the family tree and show
Well,
the
mom's
pattern of
been in his
behavior.
live before. Mom, he brought her up in that bitch to say that, they were going to church every Sunday and, he was a great man and all these things. It was wild.
Church is
Mind
big
you,
lots to steal
his
AAA batteries,
siblings have been
probably.
on this app. His siblings have called him the fuck out on this app.
Petty Pringles is back saying the order is, and that's Skittles because she came up in the box and played music, which is
Yeah.
what she does, and she's saying the order is pretty valid. Were you here, Petty Pringles, when he showed the court thing that said he wasn't served?
And if that's her requesting a box, that's a big negative ghostwriter.
Let him up. I want to see who that is.
It is her. She's been in the box already.
Yeah, she just comes up and plays music because it's her.
I don't need you, but please unfollow me, bitch. Don't. It's her. She's been in the box already.
Yeah, she just comes up and plays music because it's her.
I don't need you, but please unfollow me, bitch. Don't follow me. God.
She didn't show herself, but it did definitely, like when he ended his live, it seemed like there might have been, been
You
married.
said let her up, and then you fucking blocked her, Florida man.
If it's her, I don't give a fuck. Fuck her.
Yeah, it's her.
It is her. She's already been in
She's
the
doing the
box.
thing that she does when she goes in the lives and plays music, goes in the box and plays music. I think she's done that in Petty's live too, right? I guess I heard that. I don't know.
Yeah, she did it on the fake Kiki account, and she gave herself away by singing a part of the song.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she came up like 3 times.
Part of the song.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she came up like 3 times tonight in here and did that, but she is saying over and over again, and that the
She must have ended her live.
and that the
She must have ended her live. Didn't she go live after she came in the box?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so Chaos is saying she must be done with her live now.
Wow.
Saying she must be done with her live now.
Wow.
Yeah, so to the question earlier, like if you see the face, like it's she's not going to show her face. Did he get violated?
I don't know.
Question earlier, like if you see the face, like it's she's not going to show her face. Did he get violated?
I don't know. Nothing came up on my
face. Did he get violated?
I don't know. Nothing came up on my screen.
Do you get a notification when someone gets like a violation?
I think so. Yeah, I have before.
So I don't know how that works.
Usually, I believe.
It doesn't normally just drop. Rem, are you sleeping or are you awake, hon?
Well, that's happened a couple times tonight with him.
Yeah. I think Rem might be sleeping. Rem did it? Rem dropped him? I know, Chaos. I'm going to disconnect Rem, though, because she's not responding. She might actually be asleep. If I disconnect her, does that, like, it'll just throw her into another live? Is that what happens? Or does should keep her in the box? It should keep her in this live, right?
Yeah, it should. Yeah, she'll just go. Yeah.
Andy, are you sleeping?
She's gonna. I think she.
Andy, are you sleeping?
She's gonna. I think she came up here a while ago because it was lagging, and it doesn't lag when you're in a box.
It started lagging as soon as we dropped Rem. Maybe we need to have 5 people so it doesn't lag. It started lagging as soon as we dropped Rem. Maybe we need to have 5 people so it doesn't lag. I don't know, have 5 people so it doesn't lag. I don't know. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Are you gonna end your live or what's your plan, Luigi?
I was gonna see if Florida Man was coming back. I don't know.
Oh, Ambi's awake. We'll keep her. We'll keep her up here then.
I got a text saying y'all they got y'all on YouTube already. I was like, yeah, go fucking
What
figure.
channel?
Even though I fucking said you do not have my consent to fucking record.
Well, you can just copyright strike it. Turtle can also show you how to do that.
It's on
You
that.
just copyright strike it. Turtle can also show you how to do that.
It's on that. The new account that used to be TikTok Window Lickers. It's now an account. It's now called Gone. Gone. It's fucking that girl I told you about, Vajazzled. That's that came in here. I was like, why are you in here? I don't give you consent to record my shit.
There's also a new one.
Why are you in here? I don't give you consent to record my shit.
There's also a new one. I don't know if it's new actually. I just know I saw some videos on there today. TikTok Street Watchers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's so many of them at this point. It's wild. They didn't used to do this all the time. I don't remember.
No, you
Look, Rem. Oh wait, did she sleep? Did she sleep invite?
no Rem. Rem. All right, let's drop her.
I think she's asleep, accidentally inviting herself.
Yeah, like I fall asleep and I hold my phone and my thumb's kind of in front of it. I've ended up one night. I ended up in. I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and I was in some random person's box. Like I had no idea who they were, nothing. Because the live I was watching must have ended and it like scrolled in and then my thumb kept tapping the phone and apparently like I ended up in this box. So
See, when I go to bed, I always put my phone on sleep. Like it usually does it on its own, but I'll put my phone down and I'll end everything.
yeah,
Give myself some time to like wind the hell down. All right, let me check on Florida Man. Hold on.
yeah. Did he respond?
I just sent him a message. It's going through as a text, which is weird.
Oh, then that means maybe his phone's died.
I just sent him a message. It's going through as a text, which is weird.
Oh, then that means maybe his phone's died.
But I also what happened. But I also messaged him on Snapchat to see. You know, his phones are always dying because he's homeless in a van. Huh?
He should get Starlink for the van that he lives in.
I saw that United Airlines has Starlink now. I think on their flights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I did yard work all day, bed at midnight, and here I am. That's not bed. That's not bedtime, Grandma. You need more than 3 hours of sleep, Miss Ma'am. I know I'm sleeping in tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sleeping in too. I'm recovering from surgery, so like I'm just I'm off for a few more days and then just
Was it
relax.
like serious surgery? Like
No,
was it
relax.
like serious surgery? Like
No, uh uh well, I don't want to put too much of my business out
You don't
here.
have to.
People are crazy. No, it was cosmetic for I lost a I lost a lot of weight and so removing some of the excess skin.
Oh my gosh, girl!
Mhm.
I was wondering how to do that. I did the Zepbound for a while,
Yeah.
and I lost a lot of my muscle mass. I
Yeah.
noticed, like, they forget to tell you that.
Yeah, you
But
need to make sure your protein's really high and extra. Yeah,
now I'm like, what do I do?
yeah.
What the hell do I fucking do now? What the hell do I fucking do now? But
So
yeah,
I took care of my arms, like the bat wings, and
seriously, that looks like it's painful as fuck. Is it?
uh,
Is it?
it's not so bad. Like the first, there's a thing you can get. It's called Exparalo, which is like a 3-day numbing.
Oh
Like,
wow.
so like it's a I bought off of Amazon one of those old people recliners, the lift assist ones that like so I didn't have to use my arms to get up, and I slept in that with like a pregnancy pillow like around me to kind of. So I didn't have to use my arms to get up, and I slept in that with like a pregnancy pillow like around me to kind of keep me thing. And then by day 3 was a little day 3 was probably the roughest
Did you
because
get drains? They give you drains?
no, don't need them. Yeah, most times if you have a surgeon who does it all the time, they can do it in a way that you don't necessarily need drains. So
Well, when I had tummy tuck, I did the same thing as you. I got a recliner and like used that to lift me up. Oh my
I
god.
had a tummy tuck in 2023, and then I did a reverse tummy tuck last week,
Wait, what's a reverse?
where
All
they
the way
come
around?
up under your breasts and go across that way to pull up for any residual skin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
I've
it's
seen the like tummy tuck, the like full all the way around ones. I was like, wow, you're a
yeah,
soldier for handling that
my
because
back is
it was
fine.
horrible. That shit was the worst pain ever.
Yeah, I did. So I had to do. I still had because I lost 120 pounds,
Good
and
for you though.
thank you. I was because I lost 120 pounds,
Good
and
for you though.
thank you. I was real small before I had kids, and then I got cancer and got depression, and ate my feelings, and yeah, gained a lot of weight, and then so I got it off, and so it's been a journey of skin removal for the past 3 years. I do like a couple of areas every year, and so the arms, and then the reverse tummy tuck was this time, and next year I'll do my face.
$80,000. $80,000 to your face. Apparently is what you need to get done.
The $80,000 is about what it takes for those new like vertical restore, like the ones that like Demi and Lindsay Lohan and even Kris Jenner's face. Did you see her?
Yeah, I saw her.
She
She
looks
looked
fucking
good.
amazing.
I don't know what the fuck costs $80,000 though to your face.
Face? Did you see her?
Yeah, I saw
She
her. She
looks
looked
fucking
good.
amazing.
I don't know what the fuck costs $80,000 though to your face. Costs $80,000 though to your face. That's what I'm trying to figure out. The fuck?
Yeah, they're like it's $80 to $120,000 to do
What?
to get the work done the way that they got it done. It's everything because they do
Not
your
Mikey.
nose,
Why is Mikey in here?
they do your
Mikey.
upper and lower eyes, they do your
Oh god,
neck,
that's a lot.
your lower facelift, your upper facelift. They do it all. Like they do this whole design of your face to bring you back like 20 or 30
That's
years.
fucking wild. Look, I'm having the CO2 fractional laser on Tuesday.
Oh, that looks so painful.
I know. My girlfriend had it done. She looks great, but
Painful.
I know. My girlfriend had it done. She looks great, but she had a really high. I mean, it was high. It was like the highest level. But yeah, I'm getting that done on Tuesday. I'm so excited.
Ask them to give you pain meds or go to your primary doctor and get them because that looks like it's just you're burning your face.
Well, this one is like what'd she say? It's like laser and what'd she say? It's like laser and fuck, I can't remember. The girl that's doing it actually used to be a Navy doc. So I trust her, even though I refuse to see military hospitals to have babies or
I
any of
always
that.
did prime standard.
I was like, hell no.
I always
Fuck
did
no.
TRICARE standard so I could see civilian doctors.
That's exactly what I do, girl. Let me tell you, and I wish my husband could do it because, frankly, like
Yeah.
I find his doctors to be trash too. But whatever. Why is Mikey here, Florida man? Be trash too, but whatever. Why is Mikey here, Florida man? Most of the year, why the fuck is he here? Is he screaming too? Fucking Mikey.
If he's streaming about my weight loss, I hope
Fuck him.
people got tips.
He has no room to talk, frankly.
But I do
What,
think
Mikey?
that it's okay to like normalize taking your body back, and if you do something like what I did, which is lose 120 pounds, I think it's perfectly okay to go through surgeries to remove your skin.
Well, frankly, even if you didn't lose the weight, if anybody wants to go through cosmetic surgery, that's their business, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? If we're not supposed to be fucking getting on people for what they do off this app, whether it's Schmeck's work or live streaming their photos or whatever, king shame. We don't king shame, right? We don't do any of that. Why the fuck are we mocking women for getting surgeries? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's not your business. It's not your money. Don't worry.
Like, when I met my husband, we joked and I said, I hope you know, like, when I'm in my 50s, I'm getting a facelift. Like, I already knew. I'm like, I'm so scared of aging. I'm not going to age. I'm going to age gracefully with the help of plastic surgeons.
Well, you know what? I didn't really take care of my skin when I was younger. But about 40, right? I did. And my kids have looked at my license now. They're like, and they tell me all the time, and my kids have looked at my license now. They're like, and they tell me all the time, Mom, you've aged in reverse. And it's not because I get $80,000 worth of work done. Okay, guys. And
Your
let me
skincare
also,
matters a lot.
it does. And let me also reiterate that Botox does not belong in your lips. So those of you that keep doing all these fucking pictures of me with the Botox, that it ain't it. That's not what it is. So don't go there. If
It's
you're
lip
getting it
filler.
done on your lips, fire your injector because that's not where the fuck it goes.
Yeah, well, you can get it on the side
Right.
or on the top to do a lip flip, but that like doesn't really work too well.
Yeah, no. And honestly, I don't get my lips done like that. Like, unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to look at it, my lips done like that. Like, unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to look at it, it's just genetic. My kids are rocking the lips too. Like, I hate to tell you. So,
Just like
I
Angelina,
hate to tell you. So,
just like Angelina Jolie's lips.
yeah, not that. No, not even close. Yeah, no. And I get like 60 units of Dysport done in between my eyebrows,
Yeah,
raise my eyebrows a little bit. It's not that fucking much. Like, I don't know what the fuck these people are talking. But
I do
it's
Botox like because I do it like on my lower jaw. For like because it helps prevent jowls. And I'll do it on my forehead and in my bunnies and my nose and stuff. But I haven't done it in 6 months because I got added an upper bleph to my surgery last week. So
wow.
Wow. Yeah, it was a hot mess. But you can't have had Botox in your face for like 4 to 6 months because they need to see what the eyes actually are. But I don't need it now.
There you go.
Like upper breath is one of the best things, like probably, but I don't need it now.
There you go.
Like upper breath is one of the best things, like probably my favorite thing I've done.
I mean, the skincare is the key, though. I'm telling you, like,
Yeah.
my dermatologist says, look, get you some of that Skin Medica. I think it's Skin Medica or Skin Ceuticals. C ferulic, right? You use that. You use a moisturizer with sunscreen. You slap on your tretinoin at night, and you're good to go, girl. And I really have. I mean, it really does. It does help. Like I really appreciate my skincare. Yeah, for sure. And
I use Sticker.
yeah, for sure. And
I use Atlastin, which is like SkinCeuticals. It's medical grade skincare.
right.
But Marilyn, I don't know if you know who Marilyn is. She's super cool. Her daughter is stationed overseas in Asia Pac, and she sent me a list of Korean skincare and what her regimen does too for it. She said it's amazing.
The Korean skincare is starting to become a big trend, and Peachtree, it's a Peachtree, I think. They have some, and I just started their like glass skin moisturizer or whatever. But I'll be honest. Like my mom, she used a fucking bar soap to wash her face every day, and I was like, that's got to be terrible for your face. But she really didn't have any issues with her face. Like to me, that wouldn't work. No, I just ugh. But hey. If you start younger, you don't have to have these problems, but it is what it is. So I really do try to invest in my skincare and my self-care.
Yeah.
And I find it hilarious that people have such a fucking problem or seem to assume with what the fuck I do to my
I'll be
face.
honest, I thought your lips were lip filler too. I thought your lips were lip filler too. Like,
I get a half a syringe every 2.5 years, and it's only to widen the bottom lip and syringe every 2.5 years. And it's only to widen the bottom lip and even it out with the top. That's literally it.
Glenda Goodrich is requesting a box.
I don't know who that is.
Do you mean to, Glenda? I'll just decline it, and then if you
Yeah, I don't.
do
Yeah.
it again. But yeah, look, self care is self care, and I think it's like getting your hair done. There should
Exactly.
and like for my kids, I invest in good skincare for them too, right? Like so that when I make them wear lots of sunscreen, because
I didn't realize sunscreen in your moisturizer was the big thing. I didn't realize you needed that. I didn't know that until a few years ago.
look, girl, I used to when I was a teenager, I used to be outside with baby oil on me trying
I
to
was
get
gonna
it.
say, yeah, that's how it was back in the day, right? I used
Yeah,
to own a spray tan company, and I could tell even spray tanning people like the tanning outside is not. You can't do that. And
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I do go to the tanning bed. I'm not gonna lie. I do go to the
Oh
tanning
no,
bed.
yeah.
But it's
I
too
haven't gone
hot
to the
here.
tanning bed in the last 2 years just because I've been going through my skin removal stuff and it can impact your scars. But I will once I'm done. I'll probably go back to it. But
Are you
I
doing
did,
like Derma for your scars and stuff?
I use Biocernium and my scars are like invisible.
Yeah.
Look, I heal poorly. Like I have a large hematoma right now that I have to get drained. But when it's all done, like my scars are razor thin and the same color as my skin. Like you can't even
Yeah.
see. Because otherwise I probably wouldn't have done the arm lift because I've seen people with some gnarly scars from it.
Oh yeah.
And I waited. It kept bothering me, and I waited. It kept bothering me, and I'll be honest. Like I went and got iron infusions, and the guy was doing my blood pressure and they put the tourniquet around your arm and he's like, you have a lot of loose skin here. Did you lose weight? And I was like, motherfucker. like, like this is so inappropriate. But then I was like, after that, I was like, I'm doing my arms.
Grandma M, that's crazy. My daughter's in Germany right now. Her and her boyfriend went after they graduated from college last week, and she loves it. I'm so excited for her. Man, she went to Ireland 2 months ago, and now she's in Germany. I'm like, girl.
Good for her.
I know. And you know what? She's so cute. Her boyfriend has some friends out there that are stationed there, and so that's where they're staying. And then he surprised her with a trip to Paris overnight, and I was like, oh, he fucking better not be doing anything outside of just visiting Paris with her.
Yeah. How old is she?
Oh, he fucking better not be doing anything outside of just visiting Paris with her.
Yeah. How old is she?
She's 25.
Okay, well.
She's my second oldest. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good, I mean, listen, she graduated Cal State with magna cum laude, whatever the hell they call it.
Magna cum laude, yeah. Magna cum laude, yeah.
Man, I'm such a crybaby. And I told the kids, I was like, and then I got to do my youngest's graduation from high school in a couple of weeks. My grandbaby graduates from TK going into kindergarten next week. I'm just an emotional graduates from TK going into kindergarten next week. I'm just an emotional mess. It's going to be a mess. So if I want to go put fucking filler in my face, I'm going to. And if I want to go to the tanning bed, I'm going to go do that. And if I want to get my fucking hair done, I'm going to probably do that too. Why? Because it makes me feel better about my life. And if I can do that, why is it anybody's business? Really, honestly. I mean, I paid a fuck ton of money just to get pregnant with my youngest. If I can do that, why is it anybody's business? Really, honestly. I mean, I paid a fuck ton of money just to get pregnant with my youngest. Because we went through in vitro. I mean, I paid a fuck ton of money just to get pregnant with my youngest. Because we went through in vitro. So, I mean, is that a problem?
Look, women bear children, and in some cases, like I've seen some people. Look, women bear children, and in some cases, like I've seen some people like that Taylor Paul. She bounces right back absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. My body did not bounce back, and my skin did not bounce back. My son was 10 pounds,
Oh
and
my God, bless. Didn't have him?
I did.
Oh,
As they said, as they thought he was
girlfriend.
8 pounds. I looked like I was pregnant with twins, and yeah, so he was 10 pounds, and then my youngest was 9.5 pounds, and she was 2 weeks early. Like they induced me at 38 weeks because they were scanning. My one of my children has a genetic disorder that can cause cancer, and
Mm-hmm.
they did get cancer, and so I was getting ultrasounds every week throughout my pregnancy, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna induce you."
Oh wow.
But I'm glad that you said you paid all that money. I'm glad that it was successful and you ended up with your baby.
Yeah, I didn't expect to have any more children, and because I have five because I have five total. I have a set of twins,
Hmm.
but then I met my husband. Like, well, it'll be we met 21 years ago, but he didn't have kids of his own, and kind of like I was like, God, now I found like the love of my life. I But how do I do this? I'd already had not a hysterectomy. I already had my tubes tied when I had my twins, and so I was like, well, I guess we're gonna go do this. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how it is, and no, it's crazy. It's crazy how it is, and you know, I just think that what people do is really their business. It's self care to me wasn't a thing, and I don't really leave the house a lot. Like, I don't know. I've just kind of become, um,
Introvert.
yeah,
Yeah. I think COVID did that to a lot of people because we had to stay home for. I was very extroverted, and I still kind of am, but I don't throw as many parties. Like I cherish the time. I spend most of my time. I've got a lot of friends, and I do things with them, but I prioritize time with my kids. Ever since my oldest one moved out, I'm like, yeah, we're like I had to go on a work trip, and it was like for a big party, and I brought my family with me, and
uh-huh.
we toured and did beach stuff, and they
I
had
love.
an amazing time.
Yeah, I mean, when your kids get older and stuff, you start to really kind of like, and I think also having grandkids, like, um, it's just completely different. I don't know. I try to spend as much time with my kids as possible, even though I know they're grown. They don't. I try to spend as much time with my kids as possible, even though I know they're grown. They don't always want to. I made my daughter go with me to go shopping today. I was like, we're going shopping. And you're
Yeah,
going to learn how to drive on the interstate. So there's that.
yeah, we do
But
like go nails, and then we do
yeah,
we
because
do.
they do remember that, and they do. I mean, I don't know. I love to hear my kids talk about like the things that they remember, and I do. My youngest is always like, "You guys don't have barbecues or cookouts with the Marines anymore," and we really don't. But I mean,
Yeah.
Brian's mass sergeant, and we're just like, no thing. He don't want to hang out with his Marines.
Well,
Um,
yeah, it can invite trouble.
well, not only that, but it's like, he is a younger master sergeant. You know what I mean? Like, so most of the people, he is a younger master sergeant. You know what I mean? Like, so most of the people that are in his rank or that his peers are a lot older, and I don't know. We just try to protect kind of like our home.
Yeah.
We don't live on base. We haven't for years, and we're just trying to figure it out too. But for years, and we're just trying to figure it out too. But um, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we do. In addition to like my kids just went on. It's a tradition I'm making them start because they're old enough now to kind of try. My oldest is almost 21, so she's an adult. She's adult successfully, and so they went on a trip to Universal on their own.
Oh wow.
And so now it's an annual thing. We said, of course, mom and dad paid for it, but
Of
we want
course.
a sibling, like just them going on a trip,
Of course.
a sibling, like just them going on a trip on their own every year. I want that to be a tradition for them, and they are having the time of their life. Like, because my youngest is old enough to drive, right? Like, so much for them, and they are having the time of their life. Like, because my youngest is old enough to drive, right? Like, so my kids aren't little. The time of their life. Like, because my youngest is old enough to drive, right? Like, so my kids aren't little. And uh, my daughter and her boyfriend, who's 23, went with them, so they're supervised before anybody says, "Oh, she let her kids go to Florida on their own." They're old enough. She let her kids go to Florida on their own. They're old enough to do that.
Well, I mean, I mean, come on.
Someone's still going to judge me for it.
Of course they are, but who cares? I mean,
They're having a blast. But one of the other things that we do is we it's like once a month we go out to dinner or go do something like with just like I'll do it with just one daughter, and then the next day the other daughter, next day my son. So they get one time individual time with us. And then my husband does it then a different week with them. So
I think
we're allowed at the table like during that time. It's just it's
they grow so fast and they are flapping their wings, and it's just I I think it's interesting with Bree though. Like I probably do I probably do too much. They always say I'm extra. Like we always get like Mimi and Mimi's bestie shirts, or like bestie shirts, or like
cute.
I mean we but she also doesn't have her parents, and so although I don't know, I'm excited her dad's coming because he probably sees her like once a year, but she's happy, and so I look at my kids and I'm like, okay, I had to have done something right? Like I could have been that bad if you're doing so well in life, or you're a good human being, and that's really all it is just raising your kids to be good human beings in this world, and you're a good human being, and that's really all it is just raising your kids to be good human beings in this world, and follow their dreams and do whatever it is that makes them happy, whatever that is. And I support them 110% everything that they do.
We've been very not passionate about like really take time to figure it out and choose your path wisely. So we don't pressure like to go to certain colleges or whatever. Like we want them to be happy, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. But yeah, if I had my way though, they would never move out, and they'd all I'd have a big mansion, and they could have their families in like the East Wing and the West Wing, and
exactly. I told my kids like there will be.
I'd have a big mansion, and they could have their families in like the East Wing and the West Wing, and
exactly. I told my kids like there will be an underground tunnel from my house to yours. And the kids are like, absolutely not, Mom. Oh my God, you're not living next.
If I won the lottery, though, I would buy a plot of land and build them their houses and just kind of like have a
living next.
If I won the lottery, though, I would buy a plot of land and build them their houses and just kind of like have a cul-de-sac where it's all land and build them their houses and just kind of like have a cul-de-sac where it's all like my kids and us.
That's how my husband was raised, actually.
Is it? That's
cool. His grandparents lived on the other side of the property. They lived there, and I mean, but I have to learn that they're gonna grow up and they're gonna.
Oh yeah.
It's just
they do their own thing.
Now that I think about it, with Brian was supposed to retire last year, but I was like, Brian was supposed to retire last year, but I was like, what the fuck are we going to do? Two of us in this house. Now we have my grandbaby, so I mean, I guess that's going to be a while before it's just the two of us. But I've spent my whole life raising kids for the most part, So and I think too, for me, like I know people my whole life raising kids for the most part, you know. So, and I think too, for me, like I know people are like, oh my god, she doesn't work; it's her husband's money. I have spent my life dedicated to my children. Like, there were no preschools for them. You know, they weren't daycare. I was, yeah. My husband was deployed 100 fucking times, and you know, and all the training and stuff for deployments. I mean, girl,
Being a military spouse is tough.
it is, and we have moved. This is the longest we've ever been someplace, and we've been here for 4 years.
Yeah.
We have moved
Stay there
everywhere.
until you retire from there.
Oh, we are not fucking staying here. Fuck no. We're just debating on where because he's from Texas, and I don't want to fucking go there.
Well, you want to choose whatever he's going to do after the military.
I want to be as close to my children as possible, so I don't know how we're going to figure this out because I've already got one in the south, one up north. I'm going to have one up north until med school's over.
What you do is you find a place that makes them want to come, like like come to that.
That's why I picked Florida.
Yeah.
Plus, my BFF is there. Like, that's Brian's like, why do you want to go to Florida? I'm like, it's always sunny, and I don't do like
I would love to
cold.
go to California.
Fuck, California is not all it's cracked up to be. Just try it. I mean, no. Let me tell you that my property taxes on my home are almost $13,000 a year.
No, mine are 3,000.
Thank you. That's what mine used to be, and now they're like. So I'm like, fuck. Thank you. That's what mine used to be, and now they're like. So I'm like, fuck. No, absolutely not. It's a different life out here. It's just not for me. We are
Mostly the weather. That's why. Like, I want to live someplace where it's sunny, where there's beaches and blue water and tropical.
the water's fucking cold. Okay, here all the time, and it's really not warm all year long. It's not, but it does get to like 110 where I live, and I'm like, dying. Although it's dry, but it's cold. It gets fucking cold here, like in the 30s. It's not.
Well, it gets into the hundreds here too for a couple of weeks in the summer, but it's very humid.
Yeah,
In the summer, but it's very humid.
yeah, I can't say that I miss the humidity at all. And don't worry, Squishy, I'm coming, girl. You know I'm coming. As a matter of fact, I'm coming out there like next month, I think. I do try to take a vacation on my own, and go visit like my girlfriend
Oh, that's fun.
for a week, like without kids, because my husband is always going someplace for work, and that always entails like, you know, fishing and then like hiking, whatever he likes to do on his off time when he's gone. And I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm
Now, when
going.
he retires, is he going to retire, or is he going to go into civilian?
My husband will be 42 in July.
Oh, well, wait, how old are you?
44 and a half.
Oh, okay. Well, you said
Like,
you had a 25-year-old, so.
I do. I have my oldest is 27, or just.
Oh, well, you would have been 20.
27.
20. Okay, so you were
He's young.
18 when you had this?
I had my oldest at 17.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought, I was like, for a second there when you said his age, I was like, what are you, like?
Oh yeah, no, he's just a couple years younger than me, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not even a difference, really, 44 and 42.
I'm
Well, it's a difference in how fast you're aging. When I went to go ahead.
he just denies his aging. I mean, like
Well,
he will still go out there and run for 6 miles, and he comes back like crying. Like, why did you just do that? Like, you're not 20 anymore.
but
You know,
it is good for him to exercise because it will keep his mobility.
right? But you're not 20, so stop trying to beat everybody in the fucking PFT, Brian. It's not going to happen. Like, they're 18, 20,
Yeah,
40.
yeah, but you know how it is, right? You got to show the like.
It's just funny to me. He's like, oh, the doctor said I shouldn't be running, and I'm like, he's like, so I'm gonna go on a run now, and I'm like, okay. And just make sure you note it on your records for the VA. Like, no, I don't know. That's the thing that
he recovers planes, so like.
his MOS is 7011. He does. He essentially works with Crash Fire and Rescue, but it's Expeditionary Airfield. So stateside, or when he's home, he maintains Crash Fire and Rescue, but it's Expeditionary Airfield. So stateside, or when he's home, he maintains the airfield and like does the jets that come in with the tail hooks. There's the gear that catches them. So
Yeah.
they maintain that, but when they're deployed, they're out there building the jets that come in with the tail hooks. There's the gear that catches them. So
Yeah.
they maintain that, but when they're deployed, they're out there building expeditionary airfields and all that. But here, his job is here. He does go out with groups and go recover. Like we had one downed aircraft
Yeah.
not too long ago that they had to go recover and do all that. But his job entails a lot because he doesn't act. I mean, he's in a position now where he's doing a lot of different fucking things. So um, yeah, I think this has been his whole adult life, right? Like he's never had to go do a job interview anywhere. He's never had to do a resume.
Yeah.
And so, and he has a degree, but this is what he knows. And so I think as we get to that point of, he has a degree, but this is what he knows. And so I think as we get to that point of retirement, it tends to become very stressful because it's super fucking scary because we
Oh,
have
yeah, it is.
life. And I don't think people really understand that this is our life, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, because you're walking away from, like, it's almost like, I'm not going to say like leaving a cult. Well, I am. Like, it's because you just, that's all you've done, it's all you know, and all your friends are from there, and you're almost like leaving the community and not being part of it anymore. It's not like just leaving a job.
I mean, we have, well, we don't, it's not so much the friends. I mean, we have friends everywhere now. I mean, we always run into them eventually, but I mean, and they have really become our family, so to speak. I mean, you know, up until a few years ago, we would have every holiday, we would have all the single Marines here, that didn't get to go home, or, I would be cooking Thanksgiving dinner for, 25, 30 fucking people. I would be cooking Thanksgiving dinner for, 25, 30 fucking people. And they really were, our children, pseudo children type. And my kids were raised with, the Marines throwing them in the fucking pool and playing at Disneyland with them, or at the zoo with them, calling them uncle and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I think the unknowing that we're not used to. We're not used to the unknown of like our life, right? I don't
I'll
know.
tell you, it was one of the best things I ever did. And like, if I had stayed in longer, just like career dead, and like, if I had stayed in longer, just like career wise, I would have gotten a later start. So, are there a lot of jobs in his field in the civilian world?
The civilian equivalency is not. So the civilian equivalency to his MOS is nothing, right? Because right, but I mean, given his amount of time he's done in the service and all of that, I mean, he could get a federal job probably as a GS 7 or 8 starting out, and he could really
Oh, he could get higher than that. I got a GS 13 right out.
Whatever they are. You know what? There's a girl on TikTok that I put him in contact with last year, and she does she will help people. Like she will actually do your federal resume, like make your resume, the way that it should be for a federal job, and she's like, oh yeah, I could get you a job here, everywhere. But he starts to kind of doubt himself because he feels like, I don't know, like I don't think he understands fully that it's the amount of time, experience, and whatnot in the military that is equivalent to like, somebody with a bachelor's or master's degree that's been in a job for 15, 20 years, right? So,
well, it's the work experience. It wouldn't negate the need for a requirement for a degree if it needs it. But he, what he's feeling is normal because every time you come up for a reenlistment, they do a really good job of scaring you about just going out into the civilian world, right? Like, and so he's had 23, 24 years of them, of that mentality of the civilian world is hard, like, from a job market standpoint. So it's understandable he feels that way. I will give you two resources. One may seem crazy, but ChatGPT will write his entire resume, put his MOS in there, put a little details about it, tell it what kind of job you want, and it will write all the information for you.
Well, that girl from TikTok actually did his resume for him,
Okay,
which
good.
was so amazing. And he had already done taps and steps and taps, because we were going to get out.
Yeah,
So he did it there, and he had already done taps and steps and taps, because we were going to get out.
yeah,
So he did it there, and it's just, I think, in his mind, it's scary, right? Because he has what, terminal leave or whatever, and he now they do SkillBridge. I don't know if you're familiar
yeah.
with that, but
No. Mm-mm.
it's a new SkillBridge. I don't know if you're familiar
Yeah.
with that, but
No. Mm-mm.
it's a new thing they'll give you for like a year. You go work for, or not work for, but you go and work with a civilian company, right? That ultimately could hire you at the end of that, and you aren't on leave, or what, you're essentially on leave, but it doesn't go away from your leave, right? It's
Interesting.
yeah, it's a new program that they've had for the last few years, and it's really cool. Like,
That's actually
but
really cool.
yeah, it's a new program that they've had for the last few years, and it's really cool. Like,
That's actually
but
really cool.
yeah, and then you can take your terminal, after that. But I think for him, it's just having everything in place. And again, when you own a home and you're selling a home, well, after that. But I think for him, it's just having everything in place. And again, when you own a home and you're selling a home, going to a new place, like, and especially when you retire, you can't do a VA loan or any home loan with your fucking retirement pay. They won't, because you don't have it yet. You don't have your VA and your retirement pay yet. So it's just scary. Just out, like when we PCS, it's different, right? Like,
Yeah.
here's your orders. This one you have to fucking be there. Here's our, it's different. So it's
Well,
just
your
a fear.
retirement pay, you can always get that rush. You can always get that rush. They do. You can call them and they will advance it. There's like you find out where your case worker is out of, and then just give them a call.
Oh, like for the VA, you mean, or the
Yeah, for the VA.
yeah.
Yeah. And then for so I would put his resume that he got. I would still, because you can add attachments to ChatGPT.
Okay.
And then you can ask it saying, please rewrite my resume so it reads well for the specific job I'm posting. Saying, please rewrite my resume so it reads well for the specific job I'm posting.
Chat GPT this week. Nikki taught me. She said, put this. I was like, what's
We've
Chat
been
GPT?
teaching Nikki.
I didn't know how to do it. I was
Yeah.
like, how do I make a stick figure? How do I make a stick figure with big lips? And she was like, tell Chat GPT. I'm like, what the fuck is Chat GPT?
Yeah, it's amazing. Pay for the pro version for a little while so that you can do that. You just literally attach like okay, and then it will rewrite it. Like it's like having a personal writer. There's also a web like okay, and then it will rewrite it. Like it's like having a personal writer. There's also a website called JobScan. And if you put the job description in and your resume in, like you load your resume in. And if you put the job description in and your resume in, like you load your resume in, and then you put the job description in and its description in and your resume in, like you load your resume in, and then you put the job description in and it scans it and it says like you meet 40% of the requirements based on this, and then it helps you rewrite your resume too.
Yeah, and they have these like
And it says like you meet 40% of the requirements based on this, and then it helps you rewrite your resume too.
yeah, and they have these like counselor type things where like for those people that are transitioning out, where they like we had a Marine who got out as like a gunny, and he had this, I don't know, he worked with one of the job seeker places for people in the military, and they got on this like pretty badass job up at like Walmart headquarters or something, like making like 80 grand a year or something crazy. I mean, it was crazy for him being a gunny. Like, that's not what the fuck he was used to. But, I mean, he also, I mean, if he did a federal job or something, then he would be able to build on his, retirement that he had in the military, which is, he would be able to build on his, retirement that he had in the military, which is, hopefully.
Yeah, he could get into project management really easy. That's
funny that you say that, because that's what he said, something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we could talk offline.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just told him, I said, babe, you're going to have to, it's going to be scary. Like, it's fucking scary, I'm sure. Like, and the bad thing is, he's like, comes to me and he's like, all right, babe, so, what are we going to do? And I'm like, wait, what? What are we going to do? You've got to figure out what you want to do when you grow up. I don't fucking know. You've got to decide. I don't fucking know. You've got to decide what you want to do. I don't know how to help you there. I will handle the rest of it, right? But
Yeah, the hardest thing I think is when people get out and they go into the civilian world. We're pretty direct in the military, and so like the soft skills, you gotta like work on your soft skills because you like there's no like telling someone to go stand a parade rest because they did something wrong, right? Like there's no like telling someone to go stand a parade rest because they did something wrong, right? Like
tell people to go fuck themselves and come back tomorrow. Like you can't.
You cannot do that.
Well, he said the other day, he's like, well, it's not even like that anymore. Now the new Marine Corps is we have to give a fuck about feelings and shit. And I'm like, Corps, we have to give a fuck about feelings and shit. And I'm like, yes, babe, that's just fucking normal.
The way it is in the rest of the world. But yeah, so
fuck about feelings. He's like, well, now we're not allowed to hurt people's feelings. Like, I'm like,
well, you probably never should have been allowed to hurt people's feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Squishy son over here was being thrown in a fucking dryer in boot camp. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god! When I was in, we were deployed, and a couple of the guys came into the shop and zip tied me to the fucking pipe that had in the ceiling and left me there for like a half hour. It was just like we always like pull pranks on each other. Like I had like a lighter that shocked people. Yeah, so. I mean, we were deployed for 7 months with no port calls because of 9/11. Like we deployed on 9/11, and so we did shock and awe. Like our
my ex-husband did shock and awe. He was dropping the bombs during shock and awe.
Yeah, we did the operation. We did both. We were in the carrier group that went over for both Iraq and Afghanistan. The first group, but. Yeah, so you get bored, right? I don't know
how you did it on that boat that long, girl. I went in there the midway and I was like, oh fuck no. It's not happening. My sleeping quarters are not accurate. That's not gonna work for me. That would not work.
I was on it for 3
My sleeping quarters are not accurate. That's not gonna work for me. That would not work.
I was on it for 3.5 years.
I don't know how you can't roll over in them beds and you got 14 people stacked up. I can't. How do y'all do that? I can't.
Yeah, you end up like just sleeping on your side. And then you have to sleep in a certain way because if the ship is rocking at night, you don't want to roll out of your bed, especially if you're in the top bunk.
There's no way I couldn't in Iraq sometimes because he was not trying to be. I mean, he snores so fucking loud, anyways. But I mean, yeah, my ex-husband. I remember he had just finished training flying F-15s, like to become like. That he could actually fly, like without a fucking instructor.
Yeah.
And he came home one day and was like that he could actually fly, like without a fucking instructor.
Yeah.
And he came home one day and was like, I'm leaving tomorrow, and I don't know when I'm going to be back. And I was like, what? And the world didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I know.
And we found out when the President Bush did his like address, right? It's like, and I was like, and then all of a sudden, and I was like, and listen, back then you didn't have these bitches these days complain about how their husband didn't FaceTime them yesterday. Bitch, we didn't have that.
We didn't even have email. Well, we had email, but they put you in OPSEC, so there was no way.
Exactly. Like they were like, no, ma'am. They couldn't even take their phones. They would be in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, God, this is a new military for sure. But you had to wait for an email, maybe. And, it was like, oh my God. And I remember just that distinct fear of like watching, it was like, oh my God. And I remember just that distinct fear of like watching them all leave. And then like, you really did not know when they were coming back,
Yeah.
And, you just wait for that fucking phone call to ring or not or whatever. And it was like, and then you slept with your cell phone. It was turned really fucking loud so that you would make sure you heard in the middle of the night,
Yeah, because when we come out of OPSEC, there'd be a line for like phones. I was we were supposed to deploy on 9/19. Like so I was on stand down leave. So I was in Kentucky for with my boyfriend's family because you know you get the 2 weeks to stand down before. So I was in Kentucky for with my boyfriend's family because you know you get the 2 weeks to stand down before the hit. And I just looked at him and we didn't say anything. And then the second plane hit and I was like, all right, let's go. I'm like, and I knew it. Like, I just looked at him and we didn't say anything. And then the second plane hit and I was like, all right, let's go. I'm like, and I knew it. Like, I just, emergency military recall. And we deployed that day. Like, we drove, um, I, he drove like, we were doing like 100 miles an hour on the highway, like, because we were told don't miss the ship and we were 9 hours away.
Oh my gosh.
And so we had to get from Kentucky back to Virginia Beach or to Norfolk.
We were PCSing that day from Pensacola. That was the day we PCS, and it was wild.
It was insane. So we got pulled over. We told the cop what we were doing, a state trooper, and they escorted us. They went
What?
with us and they drove like 110 and they brought us. And then when we got to the next state, the border, they had a state trooper from there waiting
That's
for us
legit.
to get us. So we got back, and then we went to the exchange and helped all of the spouses dropped because anybody who was on the ship that day, and then we went to the exchange and helped all of the spouses dropped because anybody who was on the ship that day didn't get to leave. And so their spouses dropped like their sea bags off and all their stuff. We loaded it on buses, drove down to
Did they like give their loved ones a hug or anything?
nothing. Nope, they weren't allowed to leave the ship. And so we drove down to
Did they like give their loved ones a hug or anything?
nothing. Nope, they weren't allowed to leave the ship. And so my car in the parking lot at the exchange, and I put a note on the back window that said "Off to war, please don't tow," because we didn't have time like to put it in long-term parking or anything. Like we were gone that day, and then we drove down to Camp Lejeune. We were gone that day, and then we drove down to Camp Lejeune. Put all the sea bags on. You know, the LCACs went out and met the ship because we were picking up the Marines. We loaded like 3,500 Marines from the 82nd Battalion onto our ship, and then we were over there. Our ship, and then we were over there, but we weren't allowed. Like it was all like, well, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen. You know, we were watching CNN, but we were on off. Don't know what's gonna happen. You know, we were watching CNN, but we were on off sex. We couldn't contact home. And then we went to bed, and they said, "All right, go to bed." You know, taps. You know, was happening, and we were tired, and they were kind of making people go to bed at 10 o'clock, which was weird. And so we went to bed, and then at 11 o'clock, all you heard was whoosh, 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 and it was just the planes going, or the jets were taking off.
I think Shotgun was in February,
Yeah,
and we had just gotten there in we PCS to North Carolina from his flight training in Pensacola, and then they select you for what we PCS to North Carolina from his flight training in Pensacola, and then they select you for whatever type of
yeah,
airplane you're going to fly. So we got there in September. He did another training, and I mean literally he was ready to fly this motherfucker by February in a war. I was nervous as hell.
yeah. It's
It
scary.
was wild.
My family was always nervous, right? Like, then our ship lost power right off of Yemen, so we were dead in water, and so a whole bunch of other ships had to circle us to protect us because a military ship dead in water, no power.
Yeah, not
Right off the
good.
coast of Yemen, not the best.
Right. That's
It's because
wild.
we had to come out of the yards. We just come back. We were in the yards after our Afghanistan tour, and then the Iraq thing was happening, and for the Iraq one, they told us, okay, we don't know what's going to happen. Either we're going to go out to sea for 2 weeks and we're going to come home, or we're going to go out to sea, we're going to go over there to do a show of force, and then we'll come home. Or option C, we're going to war. which probably isn't going to happen, is what they said. So we didn't get out of our apartment leases.
Oh God.
We were gone that day too. And, but the ship had been put back together so hastily to get it out of the yard because the ship that was supposed to deploy didn't pass sea trials. So we got deployed instead. We were fucking livid.
Were you always out of the East Coast, or did you ever come?
Yeah, always East Coast.
Okay.
I made, I was top of class after my A school, and there was a choice between Norfolk and the ship or London, and
Ooh.
I chose Norfolk on the ship just to get sea duty out because I was convinced I was going to retire. And then, yeah, I wish I'd done the London tour, but at the end of the day, I got out, and I have a great career, great family, and I'm real.
Yeah, that's such a nightmare right now.
Yeah,
Because my daughter, ages out of the GI Bill on her 26th birthday, which is in February.
yeah,
So she just got her bachelor's, and she's going out of the GI Bill on her 26th birthday, which is in February.
yeah.
So she just got her bachelor's, and she's going over there with her boyfriend while he does med school, and so she wanted to get her master's, and here she was counting on being able to get that, and you fucking can't get it. But I think
Well,
I'm having her look at, because I look, we've looked into the yellow ribbon thing or that, and you fucking can't get it. But I think
well,
I'm having her look at, because I look, we've looked into the yellow ribbon thing or whatever, and Brian has the post 9/11 GI Bill.
which is basically like yellow ribbon, right? Like the schools will give the yellow ribbon for the post 9/11 GI Bill.
So yeah, they will, but also, even if they're not getting the GI Bill, they'll still
Yeah.
match the tuition up to a certain amount. So I'm having her look into that, but they also, I guess, I think it's because of the amount of time he's been in, they give like an extra 2 years.
That's because it's not time in, because anyone can do that. It's when you go to convert.
They give like an extra 2 years.
That's because it's not time in, because anyone can do that. It's when you go to convert your GI Bill.
There you go.
Yeah, so when you convert your GI Bill to the post 9/11, they give you the extra 2 years.
Well, he converted a while ago. Yeah,
Well,
he
yeah, but
converted.
if it's not been used, then it's the 2
Well,
years doesn't start until you get out.
He used
He's
he used tuition assistance to get his degree, so he didn't need to touch it. But now he's also wanted to give a year. He used tuition assistance to get his degree, so he didn't need to touch it. But now he's also wanted to give a year. To my youngest that's starting college in the fall. But I'm like, oh god.
Okay, so for your oldest, I don't know if she's competitive, but I am super competitive.
She is. She's her expectations for herself are very high.
So she could make herself a competition.
She is. She's her expectations for herself are very high.
So she could make herself a competition. So
her expectations for herself are very high.
So she could make herself a competition. So here's what I did. When I finished my bachelor's degree, I only had 9 months of GI Bill left. And I went enrolled in a master's program that had 8-week classes. And I pumped all 14 of those fucking classes out in 9 months and walked away with my master's for free too.
Well, so here's the other thing though. She ages out in February, but she hasn't used the full amount that she was given. So they actually, I guess, after talking, well, they'll reimburse the school, and the school will end up reimbursing her back that she paid.
Yeah.
Including the BH that she would have gotten if she was doing it here, which is obviously really fucking high because it's California.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some time for her to get that back, I'm sure, by the time the VA's slow as fuck. But that's another
thing. Yeah.
but it's going to take some time for her to get that back. I'm sure by the time the VA slow as fuck. But
that's another thing. You can call.
Yes, and I will be calling every fucking.
I
Hello,
call
this is
every
just your
day.
weekly reminder to process my daughter's bullshit. No,
Oh, I called every day. And then and then the lady knew me because every month I'd be like, "Where's my GI Bill?" And they will, like, if you have an emergency, like, hey, the class, I have to pay for the class by Friday. They will rush it. They can escalate. There's processes they can. Hey, the class, I have to pay for the class by Friday. They will rush it. They can escalate. There's processes they can go through to get it to you faster. So,
well, and if he would have retired, then she would have. There's not an age limit on your. If he would have rated. Well, and if he would have retired, then she would have. There's not an age limit on your. If he would have rated. She's like, wow, Brian, you should have gotten out. And I was like,
yeah, but yeah.
Well, I told her, well, you should have just gone to school in Texas. You could have gone to school for free there, period. End of story. But there's that. But, it is what it is. She'll figure it out. She always does.
Yeah. And so she'll get it. Like, it'll be nice. I just, because when we did our bachelor's degree, we did GI Bill for like the last 2 years. We got like a year and a half off of the bachelor's degree because of, they look at your military experience and stuff and waive classes. But we did, we were two young parents. At the time, we were E4 and E6. And so, we used some of that GI Bill for our living expenses. So we had some student loans, and I just made my last student loan payment last month.
Look, and I told her, listen, you that's what these student loans are for, though. Like, I get it. And she's like, Mom, it's normal. That's what these student loans are for, though. Like, I get it. And she's like, Mom, it's normal for parents to pay for college. I was like, girlfriend, you're rent free for how many years? Pay for college. I was like, girlfriend, you're rent free for how many years, right? Like, you're rent free for how many years, right? Like, you didn't have a lot of the struggles that a lot of other students probably had. So, I mean, we will help the best that we can. You're fucking going to a very expensive state. We will help the best that we can. You're fucking going to a very expensive state with your boyfriend. Thankfully, we're not paying for medical school. My God, I couldn't imagine having to do that. But, there are resources, and I think because she's moving there and she'd have to pay out of state. Tuition, essentially, because she's not a resident. That makes it so much higher. It's crazy. But look, it'll work itself out.
We did
Work itself out.
So when my oldest graduated high school, it was during COVID, and they community college. It was during COVID, and they community college gave a year free of college to the graduating seniors, and so she changed her plan because she doesn't want student loans. So she was like, I'm just going to go to community college and knock out all the bullshit courses, get an associate's degree, and then they extended it another year. So she got her associates for free, and then she transferred to the college that she wanted to go to initially. And so when she graduates, she's gonna have no student loans, right? Like she's a plan right now where we do help, like with, because she's choosing state college, so it is cheaper than like if she went to out of state, and we pay for half if she gets an A or a B, and so that's the thing. We'll pay for half the classes, but she's just done such a good job. Like she's getting like little scholarships and stuff like that. So she'll probably graduate. I would say max like $8,000 in student loans.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, and like if you get student loans and you go into a job field that is public service, your student loans are forgiven anyways.
Yeah.
So
well, that's not what she's doing. Yeah, she's got a whole business plan. She's setting up her own thing.
and I'm sitting here like, looking at my kid like, girl, you have like 40 grand in your bank account. Like, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like, but she's like, I've got to have 50 grand in my bank account by the time I'm 27. Like, she's so frugal.
Good for her.
She does. I have to say, she's got a great head on her shoulders, and I'm super excited to see where this goes with them. Although I'm not thrilled that she's going all the way across the fucking country, but I will get my air miles in this year. At least a month I'll be traveling to see her because it's not going to work otherwise.
You need to have a monthly sleepover with her.
I am, and I will, yes, I will. And if she calls me because she's having a bad day, I will be on the next flight out, just like I do all the other ones. Just the way that it is. What the fuck? What happened?
Wait, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. I was like, wait, I thought I thought it was about to go down.
My phone just did or iOS is not installed because your phone's not charging. So my phone tried to do an update.
Oh, is there another iOS update today?
Looks like there is because it just tried to push one to me.
My gosh. Oh yeah, I have mine set to do it at like 2 or 3 at night or something like that.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning here. So
Yeah, I'm gonna get off here because it's 2 o'clock and I probably should sleep.
All right. Have
It's
a good
been
night.
so great chatting with you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I appreciate it. We'll talk off of here because I would love to hear some of your suggestions and ideas, and
Especially for his career. Yeah. All right.
talk off of here because I would love to hear some of your suggestions and ideas, and
Especially for his career. Yeah. All right.